No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Hello, everybody. Oh, boy. Was not planning on doing this live today. Going to give a quick hello, guys, because I do have a lot I want to cover. I'll tell you why I decided to do this. It was about 4 in the morning. I could not sleep. And, yeah, I'm working with that handicap today. I haven't slept, but I did catch a live in the middle of the night. And, or I saw it in the middle of the night, and I'm confused. I'm not really trying to go at Maria, but I'm confused by her choices and her words and her narratives and everything else. And we're going to get into that. But first, let me just quick say hello. Hey, Gina, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ginkak Jenny. Allegedly, happy Sunday. Hey, Mari. And hello. All right. Hey, Brooke. I just caught the end of Rabbit's live. I got to go back and listen to that. Let me get down here. Hey, Mod, be careful. Still having little issues with my eyes, so please just be, it is what it is. Hey, Sassy. All right. Hey, Sarah. Nice to see you. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. All right. Hey, Rainbow. Cooch, hello. Dreamy, hello. Oh, okay, gotcha. Hey, Sweets. Okay. Hey, IB. Thank you for coming. Okay, here we go. All right, yeah. I'll go on camera for a second. It is what it is. I don't know. It looks very blurry to me still, so I'm like, I'm gonna just stay off camera. Although I really want to be on camera for this. I have a lot to talk about. A lot. Okay. So I'm going to try, I've been trying to figure out the best way to give this information. I've got some screenshots. We're going to listen to some audio from last night, and then we're going to listen to some audio from 7 months ago, or vice versa. In fact, I think we're going to get a little taste first, and then we're going to hear a completely different narrative now. And what I'm talking about is with the whole Leida, her baby, and the angle I'm talking about specifically. Obviously, new information came out that it was not an accident, so it's being picked up again. So I really hadn't planned on covering it. There's a lot of very experienced bloggers that are, very capable to do that. But when I heard the story being told last night, I was like, why change the narrative? Why are we doing that? Like, especially in a case that hopefully will go to court. And the person that has all the information, when they start changing the narrative, guys, I start to wonder why. Why are you guys so blurry? Do I look blurry to you? I don't understand. I can read your comments, but this camera. Anyway, yeah, it's completely different. Completely different. So I guess the best way to do this is go in order. I got a lot of shit last year for covering the Leida parts that I wanted to cover. Of course, there was other bloggers covering it, but there were specific parts that I was, let me get it for you. Daisy girl, hey, by the way. It is, have it all lined up to go. We're going to watch some of it, but it is this gentleman, True Crime with Strategic Eyes. Like I said, I don't know what time he was actually live, and I couldn't see Maria's comments in the chat because she has me blocked, but I could see Jenny's. And again, it was different. Now, if you guys remember last year, okay, I'm really trying to think of the best way to do this. I guess to start at the beginning. And the beginning, from I know it, is first starting to see some screenshots. Let me add, well, that's not it. Remove. Come on. Add to stage. No. All right, these are on a thing. So the very first thing that I remember, and I'm gonna probably have to read these to you guys. But again, I'm doing this for the people that are picking this up. Maybe don't know some of the history. I want them to just be aware of what's been happening, in this little section of freaking YouTube, how this started. Is it going to be important in the end? I don't know. Maybe not at all. Maybe not at all. Hey, Petty. Thank you, allegedly. I can't tell. I can't tell if my makeup is good. It's the first time I've worn makeup in what, a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I really can't tell how I look. There's so much that doesn't make sense to me. Oh, wait, is this in the way? How's it one that's right? I'll tell you, I've heard a lot of conflicting things. Come on, I covered this, but the Maria lies part of the time. I should register my coverage. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So Maria did come up on my panel. And what happened was she told one story that she had been like kind of promoting on her page, which is no longer here. So we can't go back to those lives. But luckily I have my live that she came up on. She told one thing, and then Kiki came up and pretty much blew her story out of the water about the motives possibly, or at least the timeline of events. When I heard her last night, and I'm talking about Maria on this guy's panel, acting like she didn't know the timeline of where Eric was, I was shocked because even I knew that Eric had been out of the house for at least 12 hours at that point when the baby was injured. I didn't know, I went and looked at easily. I went and looked into the history. So yeah, yes, we're going to listen to it. I hope he's okay with it. Yes, I did hear that part. Me either. I've not heard of him either. So let me make this. Yeah, I think I'm going to play how it happened last year and then what she was saying last night. And then, help me understand why. Help me understand why. Okay. And some of the, I don't know, don't know who to credit for some of these screenshots I have. I'll show them, but you're not really going to be able to, well, I can't see them. So I'm going to pull them up on my iPad here. Let me pause it again real quick. But these were the first ones that I remember seeing. And it was, Maria reaching out to Mod 148. Why are you and Heidi posting my personal screenshots? Remove it, please. And she says, these were sent to me. And I'm saying this too because she made it sound like the detective asked Maria last night, like, kind of implying that like John stole these, and we all know how he got them, but Maria's still denying it. But then she admitted last night she gave it to Ginny, but for 7 months she's been denying that. So that's why this is all interesting. So hope this is okay, Maud. And Maud, rightfully so, says Leida is sick. She's responsible for what happened to that baby. And Maria, the police are working on it. Fuck everyone posting it. That's funny because on my live, a couple days, like a week later, Maria says she never went to the police with it. She picked and chose what she gave to this one trusted person to take to the police. So at that point, when this was like, I believe Wednesday, the day the baby died, I think was the 9th. So I think this was Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And she says, fuck everybody posting it. And Julie asks, have you talked to them? And Maria says, it's not news. And yes, tell Heidi to remove it. How do people get them? Tell Heidi to remove it. So here's the thing, guys. You're going to hear how Maria had already been working on this as a story since Saturday, from the moment that Leida contacted Maria saying, my baby's in the hospital. Oh, she's already in heaven, even though she's, I don't even think, been life flighted to the second hospital. I'm sorry, I'll catch up on your chat. So she, what was my point? Oh, she had been working on it, and I've talked with Kiki Kibitz. She came up on my panel after Maria did 7 months ago and said, yeah, we've been working on this since Saturday. But they were waiting to see what happened. They told me that, and we're going to play some of it. We can play all of it after at the end if we like, but I cut out some pieces of it. She said that the original story was that they didn't even think she was pregnant. And I mentioned that in my last live covering this. As far as I know, most of us didn't know she was even pregnant until she was arrested, even though she was in Maria's chats. Every now and then she would pop into mine. I never saw her say, hey, yeah, I'm 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, whatever. It wasn't until she was arrested in January or February. So there's that. All right, I'm trying to keep on track here. Let me hit this one, go to the next screenshot. Some of these might be doubles. And Maud's asking who else, and she replies no one, knowing damn well that who she sent them to, which was Ginny, because now she's admitting it, which we all knew. And Maud says, I'll take it down, but it's all over already. And it was. People had screenshot it, and it was everywhere. Now, mind you, Kiki had thought she was the only one getting this scoop and had no idea this was happening. And Maud says, Leida's going to see it for sure. Maria says, what the fuck there? And then she says, please tell Heidi to remove it. She's going to stop communicating with me and I won't be able to help, meaning Leida. And she said, I will ask her, you better let the police know. And I didn't include the screenshot where she totally rips into Heidi. Again, we're all, I don't know if Marie's on a tour right now to tell her story, but she ripped anybody that had any interest in a 90-day actual community event, especially in the death of a baby. God forbid we cover it. Yeah, she was just incensed that anybody else would, talk about her scoop. If she stops talking to me, they won't get anything. And Ma says, okay, I will ask her. The next screenshot, there might be some missing out of these. These are just ones that I grabbed. Again, I really don't know where from. And she's, again, you can see it's from Marie, and I believe it's still to Maud. That's my screenshot. I swore to them they wouldn't catch on. Who's they? I swore to them. Who did you swear to? Who'd you swear to? They wouldn't catch on. And person replies, several people have it. I was sent it by more than one person. We'll start telling them to stop. This may be a different person, or this may be Maud. We'll take it down, but tell me this. It's circled out here. I think she has something like, did she do it or something? And what's circled is Maria saying, I think she did it. Now, again, this was like Wednesday or Thursday, right after the baby was declared deceased. Please, this is serious shit under that. I don't want her to know. And then the person replies, oh my God, I knew it. What a sick POS. Who did you send it to? Now, I don't want her to know. The only thing, oh, guys, I'm sorry. I'll catch up here because I'm trying to stay on track here. Maria did a live because she was so incensed that Siwa Muna snitch had seen these screenshots, and it's obvious because it says Maria MV at the top. Everybody knows who that is. And Leida Siwa contacted Leida via email and said, hey, FYI, your communications, your private DMs are all over the place. And, here's Maria. I don't want her to know. Basically, I want her to keep confiding in me. So it's, Siwa's a snitch. Maria's recording it for the police. And I get that. I won't really necessarily call her a snitch but what bothers me is, again, the fact that she comes on my panel and then says that she picked and choose what she was going to tell the cops. You can hear for yourselves. Okay. Let me see what's next. And here are, again, more screenshots. This one was off of Reddit. But these are the text messages that also got out. I'm at the big hospital now. So this was probably either late Saturday or Sunday. Just got here. My baby got here 25 minutes ago. Guess Maria's saying, please keep me updated. She is very ill, Maria. She is critical. Her brain is swollen because not enough oxygen. Ugh. Oh my God, this is terrible. Praying for her. Please, please. And then, I don't know, there's another half page. Maria says, hope you're feeling better. Hope you're okay. I'm not okay. I may shut down Instagram. I am grieving. I'll text you for sure. It will either be my business device or my work computer. Do whatever you need to. I understand. I'm sorry you're going through this. Thank you, Maria. And praying for you always. Now, we've all heard the voice notes as well in this time period where it appears they're trying to set up some kind of interview of her coming up on Maria's panel. Maria also addresses that on my live. By the way, my live is like July 7th. I'll post the link in here if anybody wants to go back and watch the whole thing. We're going to watch a little bit of it. But she, where was I going with that? Actually, let me catch up here for a second. Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe she has a manager. Got to get, again, my mind is, when I hear the narrative changing, my mind is going to a few places why a person does that, and of course, given the relationship with Maria, I'm inclined to jump to a bad conclusion, and she can't be bothered to listen to my live where the last two times I said, you know what, I did jump to a conclusion. I just based it off history. And that's really how I come to conclusions. If I know specifically, I'll say specifically. If I don't know, I'll say I don't know, but my guess. But my guess, went to, oh, she needs to be monetized. I mean, why now? Why not use her own channel? Okay, let me get caught up. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't normally follow, hey Tracy, the crime community. Again, that's just not my jam normally. All right, let me say hello to anybody else. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. That's very, thank you. I don't have anything loaded. We can always do that. Let's see. Maria, you're welcome to come up here when I'm done if you want to give a new narrative. Who's the Alleged? I'll post it again. I think we have already. This guy's that we're going to be listening to. Let me get down here. Oh, thank you, Blast. Thank you guys very much. You know, all my stuff is AI stuff. As a thank you, but let's see. Do I have anything? Memes. Here, we'll just do me being happy. Out of the drama. How am I doing? Oh, let me get down here. Oh, Rainbow, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. I haven't been live in a while, really. Haven't covered anything in a while. Let's just is it this one? I don't know. I think it's this one.
Hold up.
One thing I wanted to clear up was the 11. I got cock too. I had cocks too. And all forms and sizes, though I'm just used to chicken nuggets. And they are my emotional support cocks.
Anybody that knows, Maria loves to rag on me because I have chickens. I don't know why she likes to do that. George, thank you so much. Let's go to the vault. I hadn't loaded anything. Let's see. We'll be happy here. We'll be happy. I got my no violence ones. We could do that here. Doot, doot, doot. Sir, thank you guys so much. I really, really, really appreciate you all. Let's see. Oh no. Yes. Let's say her name, Alisa. There is a hashtag justice for Alisa. I got to go back and add it to my things. Oh, thank you, allegedly, so much. And I know you're friends with them, so I'll just play and one of the ones I already have up. I Like Me Dancing. That's trying to stay away from. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for letting me play with some of my old stuff. Again, I don't want to do this. I'm just really confused. If anybody's going to cover it, they need to start with the facts. And what I heard last night is not the facts. So let's do this right. Okay. Which one am I adding? All right. Let me get to the next screenshot and then we're going to start playing some audio video. Okay. Okay, so here, 7 months ago is Ginny. See, Ginny was in the chat last night saying that not only was she the person that Maria gave this to, and she promptly, obviously, gave it to John and Heidi and whoever else, but she also admitted in the chat to spoofing Eric, and specifically she admits, I'll read this to you if you can't read it. I want to clear a couple things up. This is Geneva. Let me, I am using your screenshot here. I'm going to share your screenshot. I appreciate you keeping history as it is, but there you go. Anybody wants to check out her channel, there you go. I want to clear a couple things up. First, Maria, I gotta make me bigger for this. First, Maria did not give me the info I sent to the police. The info was given to another person who sent it to me. This is why I gave the police Maria's contact info and said to contact her because I didn't have firsthand information. That's not what was said last night. Second, I did not send Eric, Leida, or Brooke any spoof messages. She literally, again, last night, admitted she was the one spoofing and getting information from Eric. And I'm not faulting you for this, Jenny, at all. This is not that. I just want to know why it changed. I don't find any of this entertaining, neither do I, and have no reason to do that. You're going to make an accusation, prove it. Well, sadly, I'm going to, okay? Because I'm not, this isn't cool. This is just one example lately, okay, that I have found of lying about dumb shit. Let's go to the next one. Oh, God, I'm going to read this. I went to address 5 months ago. I'm sorry, I'll catch up, guys, on comments. I want to address everything that is happening, and I want to give my side of things since there is misinformation going around. I am posting the timeline of events, and you can come to your own conclusions. Ginny, I give you credit. You did, from what I can tell, a good job of that, and it's on her page. And it's at the end here, but I don't know how she's going to feel about me sharing her information. She gave it to John to share, I presume, but it's on her page. This is fair use commentary. I appreciate the work you put into it. We'll leave it there, okay? Yes, I did call the police and give them the audio recording of Leida and some screenshots that I received. I received them on July 6th and called the police. I honestly questioned at the time if there was even a baby. She was nonchalant, and that jives with what Maria and Kiki, the story they were originally working on. See, and I kind of think they were setting up Kiki because Maria originally was saying, no, Kiki's the only one I sent it to. And then it gets all around. So it implies that it was Kiki. Now, it makes no sense that a blogger working on a story is going to send out all the information. That makes zero sense. So Leida said on July 6th that her baby had passed. The baby was not declared deceased until July 9th. That her baby had passed from either a fractured back or brain swelling from a lack of oxygen. She changed her story. Understand that. When I called the police to report this, the baby was actually still alive. Eric posted a statement announcing the baby's passing, stating she passed on July 9th, not July 6th, as Leida claimed. The notice of injury was posted. States the baby sustained an injury under suspicious circumstances. The box where it says death was not marked, implying the baby was still alive as the date of the notice on July 7th. Clearly, Leida claiming her baby had passed 5 days before she actually did was concerning to the police because they followed up with me twice on July 8th. I'm curious, Jenny, have they followed up with you? Because I had heard other bloggers, people that I don't normally talk to in my orbit, had also been contacting the police and have not heard back. I did give them Maria's name so they could contact her for the firsthand information. I don't know if they did contact her, but they had the ability to if needed. All that matters to me is a baby was harmed and lost her life. Agreed. I want the person who harmed that innocent baby to be held accountable at the end of the day. And that's, again, though, and I know it may not sound like it, but honestly, that's my goal too. And here's where I'm concerned. When you have people that have all the information, as we all know, Maria was the one talking with her. She's the one that picked and chose what got sent to the police. She's the one changing the narrative that's being put out with all these other bigger bloggers that are covering the story. So is justice going to be done? Because she has had Leida's back, it appears, all this time. She's been in her chat. promoted her books or songs or things like that. So yeah, I know it looks like probably a couple things, but it really does come down to, look, if you're going to put yourself in that position to get that kind of information, not so on the down low, hey, you got to be responsible and go to the police yourself and not make it fodder or content then for all these channels. But now you're making, it's like, I don't know if you're trying to get out ahead of time and like muddy the waters. And again, these are just theories based off my knowledge of the people involved. I can't fathom why you still sat there last night. And it makes me think, she said at the very end, we're going to hear in a minute, I promise, the very end of her thing, she said, there's more to come. And when the detective asked her in this interview last night, do you think she did it? It's like, I don't know. I don't know where Eric was. I don't know. I mean, everybody knows where Eric was. He was in jail. He had been for 12 freaking hours at least. He was arrested at 2:41. But he had left earlier when the police came at like 8 or 9 p.m., July 4th. He had left sometime after that. The police found him at 2:41, July 5th, a.m. The baby was taken to the hospital or ambulance called at 3:18, I believe, p.m., July 5th. Okay? Even I can remember that. Let me add this back. All right, we're getting through this. I'm trying to make it as quick and painless as possible. This is proof that she called the police. I can't really tell. Just said that she called on July 6th. After I was given the audio recording, not on Thursday. Also, I have never spoken to Leida personally. So, I mean, obviously those voice messages were from Saturday into Sunday that was shared with Maria. So yeah, she got right on it and called the police apparently. Yay. Glad you did that. This is what gets me. This was posted yesterday, and then it's edited. I don't know what George had written, but usually George, it's Kiki and Kibitz who posted about Leida first. That's how I saw it and told Geneva to look at the YouTube channel. She literally wrote this yesterday. This is why I'm doing my live. Okay. But then she goes live. How many hours after this? 18 hours. If you need to go take care of that, go right ahead. Are they good? Okay. This is why I'm doing this live, is because of this right here. And then the message after it. You say, 7 months later, after being on my panel, after sharing the screenshots, the audio, I'm so sorry, guys. I know I'm so far behind. You now change it that it was Kiki. It almost feels like you're setting her up, that she got this info. Actually, you know what, though? Let me look at what she's responding to on George's before I, let's just make sure. Who knows? I mean, which post? Oh, thank you, George, for sharing that. I guess she's responding to George posted yesterday. Geneva is the one anonymously sending around information about Leida's baby. She doesn't have JY to go to live about it, so she's using other CCs, I presume, like this gentleman last night. She hates Leida, but she doesn't want her new handlers, Jules and Maria, to know that she's the one sending it out because they have defended Leida. So yeah, Maria is now, her response, actually, George, it's Kiki and Kibitz who posted about Leida first, because you were working on a story. I have it out of your mouth and I have it out of her mouth. We're going to listen to it in like literally very soon. But first, she had to edit that. I'm glad I was paying attention. It was edited, and this is where she starts. Again, she's going to go in on me. She's going to go in on John. And it's not old news. It says field blogger reporting old news. It's not old news. There was information that came out. Well, it's new to us. Let's put it that way. Kiki Kibitz was the first to report the new information on Leida. So she edited it completely out to say that it was, her. Now, maybe she meant it as far as the new information with her. I don't know. But I guarantee you she probably got that information from Maria. We can ask Kiki or Maria. We'll see which one. Okay, so now here's the part. It's just a snippet of my interview with Maria 7 months ago.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
I didn't share that with people. I shared it with one person because I want nothing to do with the police, with the courts, with nothing anymore. And if I felt guilty if I didn't say something and something more were to happen, or if somebody who should have not gotten away with something got away with something, and hopefully none of them got away with anything and nothing comes out of it. But whatever happened with that baby, I'm not sitting on anything that I have and not saying anything. But I want.
She does later in this interview, and if we have time at the end of this, I'll play the rest of this complete interview. She literally says she picked and chose what she sent.
No involvement. The whole trauma with the courts and the police has traumatized me to the fact that I want no involvement with nobody from there.
Okay, you made yourself the confidant. You tried to garner her trust. You made sure everybody took it down so that you could get continued trust. You don't get to sit there and say that now. At this point, you don't get to say, I don't want to deal with law enforcement. You're going to be deposed. You were the one that was confiding. She was confiding in you. You're involved, period. We all know that. I even told you we had that argument about it then.
And the person that I gave it to them, they did get it to the police. The only thing is that they shared it. I had a problem with Heidi sharing it, with everybody else, every other blogger that started sharing it when it wasn't meant to be shared. And when Heidi decided to share it and wasn't going to back off, then I said, fuck it, here you go, Kiki. I didn't share anything with Kiki until after.
Lies. This is an outright lie. You're going to see.
I do talk to Kiki on the phone, on IG, and I told her Leida was going through this, and I told her when Leida's daughter passed. But it wasn't meant for the video was for the police department. It wasn't meant for the YouTube.
Okay, then I have a couple questions.
First off, can I just
again, if you want to, hopefully we'll have time to cover this, but I want to cover her interview last night. But again, this is only 30 seconds.
say that Maria and I have been working on this story actively since Sunday night.
Oh.
Maria came to me as Leida was messaging her.
Now, if you remember, she says she didn't go to Kiki until after Heidi posted it, which was Wednesday or Thursday. They've been working on it since Sunday.
And leaving her voice messages.
Well, okay, go ahead.
And then I personally did not want to say anything until there was public confirmation from either Leida or Eric. So when Eric posted on his Facebook yesterday that the baby passed, I said, okay, I could go forward with the story.
Okay, now there's only a little bit left on this. Then we're going to listen to the interview. I included this. This is from John's, but I hope he's okay with this. Him and Jenny are not getting along. And he's showing a screenshot and he's circling something else. But if you look below it, I'm just putting this out there as a possibility. And I'm sorry, I will get down here, guys. Yep, exactly. I'll drop it, but I'm going to finish saying what I want to say. Get your story together. Anyway, it's going to be hard to read on here. Let me read it. Basically, this is between Jenny and John. I think I'm going to stop after this. I have some additional screenshots. Maybe we'll talk about it after. Basically, she's saying to him, but get this, they aren't text. They are fucking audio. Again, Jenny is DMing with John Yates. This was on his channel, Fair Use. He says, part of me has been wondering if Leida and Maria have been setting me up because they hate me so much. And you might not be wrong there. Just, I don't know, planning that again. I'm sorry. I stepped away for months and I'm not going back to the fuckery bullshit, I think. You told me the baby died of SIDS from Maria. And Jenny replies, it's all circled in red. Maria told me SIDS. That's funny because it's not anywhere in the shots that we've seen. they aren't setting you up. Maria thinks Leida is guilty as fuck. She gave the audio over to the police. No, you did. I guess John didn't know that. And then she says, just call me. We need to get this bitch, meaning Leida. And then this is, I want everyone to understand this last part because I think it was overlooked before. John, she's willing to go drop the RO tomorrow. And then he says, see how leverage works. So part of me, I'm going to remove this for now, and we're going to go listen to the interview. The rest are screenshots that maybe John will want to go over. It's really his conversation, and I really don't like. I just wanted to show this one because Maria says, not a cold day in hell, that would ever happen, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, what else makes sense? What else makes sense to, for anybody that doesn't know, John and Maria had been in a 1.5 to 2 year battle, or at least a year. I don't know. It's started in 2023. I think it ended in 2025. An RO on each other. And it drug out. I think it's a 5-year each. Some say it's lifetime. I forget, to be quite honest. But at this time, I don't know if it had been settled yet, or maybe it had. I honestly don't remember that. But I know it was a lot of money for both of them. It was stressful for both of them. It was affecting their lives in a lot of ways for both of them. So the only thing that I can come up with as to why she was giving it to Ginny to give to John was to say, hey, look, olive branch. Because or Ginny was speaking out of turn, and I would hope, Maria, you would call her out, say, why would you say that? But nobody picked up on that I saw before. I don't see anybody backstage. All right, so let me let this play while I get caught up. We are going to listen to her when she comes up on Mr. True Crime with Strategic Eyes. I'll share this tab. And she's in the chat. Again, I can't see her, but I've left the chat up. If any of you guys can read that, I certainly can't. Jenny's admitting to things, and Marie comes up within a few minutes. Actually, let me check the speed. Let's put it on 1.25 for those of you playing this back.
Her perspective of the situation. And if you guys are hearing that I'm only looking to talk to Maria. So if you do call in and we find out what your username is, you're going to get blocked from the channel, because that's very rude of you to do that. Afterwards, when we're done talking to her, looks like we'll be here for a while. Maybe we'll take calls from other people. Let me first make sure that everything is good on this. Okay. Otherwise, it's not going to allow her to call in.
All right. They go back and forth for a minute to get her to call in. Just going to forward it.
A few days ago, we celebrated his 90th.
Sorry, I don't have premium.
If you're trying to call and it's not working, then tell me that's not. I'm from Harlem. I'll be just ragging on my sister. Anyway, this is the phone number. Please call. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to True Crime Strategic. This Maria?
Yes, it's Maria.
Perfect. Thank you. We hear you loud and clear. Before we start talking, chat, how do we sound, guys? Do we sound good? You see the chat. We get some thumbs up if you guys can hear me. Maria, why don't you introduce yourself real quick and see some thumbs up. Introduce yourself. First of all, I'm new to this case, so I don't know everything about it. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, a little about your show? Because my understanding is you're a blogger, and a little bit of how you're connected to this, if you don't mind.
Well, I was just watching 90 Day Fiance when Leida was on at that time, and I wasn't on YouTube yet. And we started back and forth messaging and had good times, bad times. Like, we would argue about things and then we ended up just being friends. But other than that, I had blogged on another account called Drop the Mic, which was corn bombed recently. Mm-hmm. So I had lost that account, and I'm on this other account for now until I get that one back. Okay. But I'm just here to say that those audios were stolen.
Okay.
They weren't stolen. Well, they were stolen.
I was muted. That's what perked my ears up at 4 this morning. I'm like, whoa, what? Stolen? Okay. I have to commentate, of course, fair use. Thank you, sir. I hope you're good with me playing this, and I hope you get the beginning of how this all started.
They weren't given to John Yates.
Who's John Yates?
They were actually.
I don't know who
he's
that
a
is.
blogger.
Okay.
They were actually given to. They were actually given to the police.
Okay.
And
how?
Somebody had given him that, and he put his name on it.
Now, is it possible that the police could have leaked this or something like that? Because are you saying that they were given directly to the police?
No, they were given to someone to give to the police.
Okay, so there is a middle person where you could have
right, and that middle person handed it to John Yates, and he put his name on it.
Okay, all right. So, talk to me about that conversation. All right.
Oh, thank you for unblocking me, Maria. I'll be glad to have a conversation about this. That post has nothing to do with what you're saying. Well, you edited it, but I just can't wait. Uh-oh, Maria, it's funny the cats start fighting as soon as you come in my chat. Come on, guys. All right, let me play your interview here. It was edited, so I went and looked at what George had posted, and that's what it was about. So I'll be glad to talk about it with you. Hold on, but we're gonna listen to this first.
How did you feel about what she was telling you?
Well, when I have been talking to her already for a couple of years, maybe about a year and a half by this time, because we were on and off talking, and I had.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Hold on, let me look at the post. Okay, I'll give it that. Let me look at it again though, so I can make sure. Was this 240? Let me look. You're just saying, actually, George, it was Keegan Bits posted about the, well, it's not really an autopsy, is it? It's just a matter of finding or whatever. That's how I saw it and told you never to look. I was surprised though. Ginny was usually very on top on checking up on the Eric and Leida thing. So that's a little weird. So it's old news, and Kiki was the only one to know about it, huh? Okay. Again, I've heard this story before, but
no idea she was even pregnant.
Hmm.
And we were talking through her pregnancy, and I had no idea. So when she told me that the baby was in the hospital, I honestly did not think there was a baby.
Okay.
Because I wasn't aware of it.
Hmm.
And that's why it caught me off guard, and I shared that conversation because I was thinking that something's going on there, but there's.
Maria, though, I'm curious. I mean, were you talking to Leida then when the whole dog situation happened in the early part of the year? That's when I found out that she was pregnant. Didn't you know then that she was 6 months pregnant? I mean, it's on her Facebook, and I was told, I don't follow her on IG, but I was told by others that she did post about being pregnant. So do you not follow her on IG?
There's never been a baby at that time.
Now, when you guys are having that conversation, she's saying that she's accepted it.
Block each other.
To your knowledge, was that before or after the baby was deceased?
It was.
Whoa.
Oy.
What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys.
According to her, after the baby was deceased.
Right. I mean, that makes sense to me. People in the chat were saying that it might have been before.
It was, according to her, after the baby was deceased.
Right. I mean, that makes sense to me. People in the chat.
By this time, because we were on and off talking, and I had no idea she was even pregnant.
Hmm.
And we were talking through her pregnancy, and I had no idea. So when she told me that the baby was in the hospital, I honestly did not think there was a baby.
Okay.
Because I wasn't aware of it.
Hmm.
And that's why it caught me off guard, and I shared that conversation because I was thinking that something's going on there, but there's never been a baby at that time.
Now, when you guys are having that conversation and she's saying that she's accepted it, to your knowledge, was.
And that does line up with what Kiki said that the original story was that there was no baby. But, so here's the thing though. If you, Kiki, if you, 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 if you you have those messages from July 5th. Then if you guys were working on a story, there was no baby. I mean, did you think she was lying then about the baby being in the hospital? Is that what you're saying? That even that was the story you guys were working on? Because, yeah, help me understand that.
Was that before or after the baby was deceased?
No, like he said.
It was, according to her, after the baby was deceased.
Right. I mean, that makes sense to me. People in the chat were saying that it might have been before, but I mean, yeah. Okay. So what's the status of your relationship with her now?
See, Genevra's in the chat right now. The audio was given to her so she can forward it to the police, and she gave it to John Yates.
What's her name?
Genevra.
Genevra 2.5. And I have it to both the police and to John Yates. Why did you give it to John Yates, Genevra? I'm just curious. And what's your relationship with Genevra?
We're just friends.
You're just friends. So Genevra, why did you give it to John Yates and also give it to the police instead of just giving it to the police? I'm curious about that. Maybe she'll answer that inside of the chat and we'll be able to read it out there. All right. So what's your relationship with Leida at this moment?
We're friends.
You're still friends? All right.
Yes.
Does she know that you gave that audio to the police?
Yes.
Is she upset about that?
She was upset at the time, but she, if you listen to all the audio, at that time I was thinking that Eric had done something, and she was.
See, this is where I also don't understand, because it was very clear that Eric had been gone out of the house. You know, I don't know if he was removed, left on his own, was at the gas station, arrested at 2:41. The baby was taken by ambulance at like 3:15. Even I know that. So, and just hearing her story telling to you that she closed her eyes and somehow, well, maybe when I had my eyes closed, he broke her back. I mean, that's, again, what she said. If that's the actual cause of death or brain swelling, at this point, I don't know if that's been released. I have to stop and commentate.
Protecting Eric.
So, okay, so she basically feels like you weren't giving it because you thought she did something. You were giving it because you thought Eric did something.
Right.
Do you?
But I don't know how. I would love to know, Maria, how you convinced her when you said, I think she did it, or that it was being used for, obviously she probably didn't know about the, I don't know if this was leverage for RO. Again, I can only go by what I've seen with my eyes over the last 7 months. But when you literally said, I think she did it, I don't know how you convinced her to keep trusting you.
You still believe that Eric is the one that harmed that baby?
Well, thank you, Rainbow.
I have no idea, to be honest. I think something happened there, and I don't think it was, according to what I've been told, it's not a brand. It wasn't a brand new what is it, like a concussion or whatever.
Normally, I would agree, but if she's going to go and do a tour and give the story out, I would rather it be an accurate account, at least from, maybe, again, I don't know how you go from you both saying it wasn't Ginny. Why protect Ginny back then? I don't understand. I mean, we all knew it was Ginny, but you guys like both staked your reputation on that. And that you were working on a story with Kiki. She admitted that. So it's, and I would totally agree with you guys if she wasn't going live. Are there more interviews on the way?
Had whatever the baby was swelling, it wasn't brand new.
Well, the baby had concussions, but we're talking about fractures to the bones as well.
Yeah, but from what I understand, the fractures weren't new.
Okay.
So the people who were saying that he was under arrest that day, that they weren't new fractures.
Right.
So I don't know which of the two.
So do you think it's possible that your friend could have done something to that child?
It's possible that either one.
Okay.
Or I don't even know her. I don't know her babysitting arrangements that she had at the time with the child. I've never met her in person. I don't know their daily life. I don't know if.
I don't believe you guys. See, this is what I mean. You're skipping over. I mean, Leida was not shy, guys, about being on panel saying, and obviously there was domestic violence going back and forth. I believe I heard Leida say, oh, this time they took him, but apparently in previous times they had taken her. Then there's the issue with the dog, like, and then I remember seeing screenshots where Eric was saying, and I presume Jenny, I would love to know if these are your conversations with Eric. And again, I can't remember where I saw all this stuff, but Eric was complaining that she was complaining about the dog. And as everybody knows, there's video. Apparently, I actually haven't, I don't think I've seen it. There's video of her injuring the dog, the puppy. And then she claims mental whatever. And then a few months later, they decide, oh, okay, she can't handle a dog. Let's let her have the baby by herself. And then we find out that DCF has been involved. There have been open complaints. Now, that side I'm not getting into, right? That's I'll let the other bloggers all deal with that. But just be on the lookout for that, guys, if you haven't heard it already. When it came out that the baby's death was not accidental, it also came out that DCF, whatever division is in Wisconsin, had already been involved, and not just for the 12-year-old as well. So like Maria, this is what I mean. I have a hard time when I hear interviews like this, that this wasn't discussed, at least her pleading her case. I have other screenshots that I haven't shown yet of Jenny and John where she thinks she's not going to be charged. But you don't give any, there's like, why would you? This is what I mean. I feel like you're feeding a new narrative. Maybe you already know what kind of legal thing she's going to,
If anybody was
what kind of legal thing she's going to claim. So like, this is what bothers me. If you're going to do an interview, but then you act like you don't really know anything, I don't know. It's confusing to me, the purpose.
babysitting them while she went to work because she was working.
Right.
So
all right. So just scatter some of this throughout your home and then watch what happens overnight.
I have no idea.
Well, I don't have a lot of friends.
I don't know who came into the house. Put it that way.
I keep my circle pretty small. So if somebody asked me if I thought that one of my friends had done something that I think is like totally out of character, I would be like, no, I don't think that this person could do that. But you said you don't know. So what is it
I
about?
don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know them like you would know a friend in real life, like someone that you go out with or somebody you hang out with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know her that way. I know her as in we've been messaging and texting for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I can't say for one person that I'm not physically in contact with and see her what goes on in their house.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So in your interaction, because you're saying you've been friends for years and there's been times where you guys have had ups and downs. Does she come off as a person that can be volatile at times? Can you tell us a little bit about her character, the good and the bad? We just don't want to know the bad, but who is she as a person from your vantage point?
I can tell you that when she
and sorry, Jenny just went by. She says here that he was in jail when the baby was harmed. So I mean, again, I think Jenny was doing a lot of looking at the legal documents and everything at the time, but she did say earlier here, the audio was given to me and I have it. Sorry, no, my eyes are a little issue. Audio is given to me and I have it to both the police and to John Yates. Again, that was denied for I don't know how long. And then there was something else she said. Maybe it's up later. All right, I'll keep an eye on the chat over here for a second.
When she starts talking about the baby, she starts crying.
Okay.
And people say she doesn't cry. She is.
Well, you didn't leak anything of her crying. I mean, I had her own IG videos, like 7 minutes of them, and she was worried about her car. She was worried about her numb cheek. She was worried about getting a Starbucks. She was pumping. I didn't see any kind of emotion. She never used her daughter's name. It was always baby or it. Not once did I. And that's why on my video, I can play it, the IG stories that she did from the 5th and the 6th, before the baby had even changed hospitals. She's more concerned about picking up a car. And I don't know if that's the car that Eric left at the gas station when he got picked up for DUI or it was towed or something. I mean, she was more emotional about that kind of stuff. And if there's a softer side, makes me question why you wouldn't show that.
You listen to
right.
it's like almost 10 minutes. It's like 4 minutes and change for one, and a little bit over 5 minutes for another one. I'm just going off my memory. And she certainly did not sound emotional. Listen, I don't want her to be a murderer. I don't know who she is. I've never watched the show. This is a new story to me. So I have no skin in the game to see this woman being accused of anything that she did not do. But I'm also a professional. I have 19 years of experience as a sex crimes investigator, and I'm still working. This is like this is what I do in my pastime. This is my hobby. Tomorrow when I go to work, I'm going to be investigating sex crimes. And so I've seen what trauma can do to people. And listening to her talk for those 9 minutes total, those 2 different videos, 9 minutes total, it didn't seem to me like she was very emotional, especially if we believe that conversation happened post the death of the child, post-mortem. She sounded pretty normal to me. She sounded like she was more concerned about her marriage, about her husband's finances and order protections. It didn't seem like she had a lot of empathy for the child. Did you pick up on that? Did you feel the same way? How do you feel about the way that she acted during that conversation?
That's a good point. I don't know where I heard it, Daddy. That's you, right? Yes, Daddy. Hello. That it wasn't actually a fractured back, but and how a 5-week-old could have old injuries is absolutely terrifying to think about. But yeah, for her to say that then makes me think that she knew. I don't know, or maybe the doctors were just guessing at that point. I really don't know. You know what? I'll let the other bloggers deal with that part of it.
I picked up on that too, but I also remember when she was on the show, her character, how she is. She's not an emotional person. She goes against what everybody else would say. Like, she was the villain. She was the bad person. She's the one who doesn't put up with any bullshit, and not the soft-hearted person that people expect to see.
Yeah, but do you think that's like a fair comparison? Because one is like a show where they kind of tell them to play characters, and the other is a vulnerable situation where you just lost your 5-week-old
she's a hard ass.
Okay.
She's a hard ass. In real life too. But the thing is that she is emotional when it comes down to her emotions with the baby. So I don't know what to say.
No, I understand.
She's very emotional.
So what's her
and
position?
We've had many conversations.
Well, I mean, I'm just going to say, in my experience, it appears Leida's only communicating with Maria if Leida wants to do an interview. She knows how to reach me. I'd be fair to her. Lots of these bloggers, especially even the other bloggers, I don't know if she has representation yet. I don't know her defense strategy. I've heard the defense strategy for the dog was her mental capacity in some way. So yeah, I mean, I'll gladly either push it on to someone that could do it better, or I've known Leida in the 90-day community since 2019.
What is she saying about this?
That she's traumatized over everything that's happened, and she cries about missing the baby all the time. Every time we talk on the phone and she brings the baby up, she cries.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm not a detective or a police, so I never want to say one way or the other.
I understand.
I don't know. When I hear somebody say before their baby's even dead, I'm done grieving, it's time for justice. I mean, literally the same day or the same 24 hours. I don't know that you're ever done grieving. I can't. And again, I get everybody's different, but in 7 months, I've seen her a lot. And I'm not trying to paint a picture. I'm just stating what I have observed, what others have observed. Yeah.
Has she told you that police have told her that they're interested in talking to her, or that she's a suspect or anything like that?
No, they're not talking to her.
How does she feel about the fact that the medical examiner came back and said that the child's death was non-accidental, which means that somebody caused the child's death?
She said this report has been out for a while. It's not anything new. And she was aware of it. And she said that they had told her that the fracture was an older fracture. So it doesn't mean it was the night that Eric was arrested.
Well, what that tells us is that the child has been experiencing abuse over an extended period of time. So it doesn't, to me, that's not a defense. It doesn't make it any better. Like whether the child died from abuse right at that moment, or if the evidence shows that the child was abused over an extended period of time, just makes it even more diabolical. Because one could be construed as an accident, and the other one is purposeful abuse over an extended period of time. So it actually benefits her or him or some stranger.
Find your perfect tax expert, whatever your tax situation might be.
Sorry. I need to pay for a premium, I guess. There we go. Oh, Lord. It's a twofer.
It benefits them if it's a one-time thing, because then you can say, well, it was accidental, as compared to over an extended period of time. Well, what I'm getting to is somebody killed her kid, period. That's what the report says.
Find out who.
Right. So how does she feel about that? That allegedly a killer is outstanding right now. It has not faced any criminal consequences for what they did from robbing her of her pride and joy, her 5-week-old daughter. Has she said anything about that? Does she have any theories on what might have happened?
She has her own investigator trying to find out what happened. She said.
Sorry, I'm muted. My plane was going over. I don't understand that either. Her hiring. And see, there's a lot of stuff that led up to this. And this is what other bloggers, and in fact, I want to put Kiki and Kibitz. I don't think I'm going to have time to go through her timeline. She just covered it. I'm going to post it here in a second. But there was a lot of things leading up to this. First of all the felonies and charges, that Leida was going through, and then the selling of assets before this, I believe. It just all paints a picture. But I haven't really looked at all of that in detail, but I do remember that. Like they had moved, they had been selling assets, they had applied for divorce, and February 1st, it was withdrawn, or separation, I should say. It was withdrawn, and then again, obviously, in July. And then she withdrew that one and wrote a handwritten letter to the judge. She also wrote Eric a letter. For those that don't know, a handwritten letter. These are all can be found, I believe, on John Yates's IG page, where she's basically begging Eric to, again, this is like 2 to 3 weeks after this baby's death, and she's begging Eric, her abuser, to get back, that they'll move away together. I'm summarizing, and she'll have a baby boy for him. Eric, I believe, has all girls, and maybe that's something he's always wanted. And it appeared to work there for a bit. Again, I'm not going into the whole angle that way. I'm just trying to understand why the narrative changed.
Okay. Has anything come out of it?
That I know, I have nothing yet.
Because me just jumping into this, and there's a lot that I don't know. You surely know more than me. And there's also limits to what you know from what you've explained. You're just a friend that she speaks to on the phone from time to time. Yeah. I'm just a guy who's looking in from the outside. My understanding of what happened that night, and if I'm wrong from what she told you, please correct me. They had an argument, her and Eric. Eric slaps her across the face. She says she closes her eyes and she doesn't know what happens after she closes her eyes.
I didn't know that.
But eventually she calls the police. Eric gets arrested, and he's now sitting in jail. And while Eric is in jail for slapping her, that's when she calls 911, and the baby goes to the hospital, and then the baby eventually dies. Is that kind of an accurate paraphrasing of what happened?
Well, that is what she originally told me, but then from what I had read after that was that Eric wasn't there at one point because he went to a gas station and he bought beer and he got drunk and he was asleep in his car, and the police arrested him at the gas station. So I don't know I still don't know that timeline. It was that same night.
See, I don't know how you can be gathering, and again, these are the questions that I have, how you can be gathering this information and not know that very detailed part of how long Eric had been out of the house. I mean, if your continued conversations, according to when you discussed it with Julie, that I want to keep her talking to me, you would think that you would be asking those kind of questions to really nail down that time period before it has a chance to change over 7 months. But of course, thankfully, we have at least a document to show where he was at least 2:41 a.m. and that he was in jail when this happened. Yeah. Oops, wrong way.
Yeah, he got arrested at a gas station, so he wasn't in the apartment or the house when that happened.
So, based off of her first story, it looks like Eric is not there when the police are called to get assistance for the child. And then based off of the story that you read or you heard about, Eric is spending even less time in the house. So it looks like the common denominator of who's with the child is Leida. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to solve the case here. I'm trying to figure this out myself as we talk, because I once again, I would never want to say that a mother did something to her child, but 5-week-old children are vulnerable and defenseless, and they literally cling to their parents, almost like, like we
absolutely,
said, there's no way this child could be away from its parent. So either you have mommy has to be with the child, daddy has to be with the child, or mommy and daddy's with the child, and if neither one of them's there, then a trusted person would have to be there with the child. There's no way that she can say that the child was not within her presence and not be able to communicate with us who the child was with. Correct? Is that a fair statement to say?
Correct.
Is she alleging anybody else was watching that child during that time period where the husband slaps her and then he gets arrested, regardless of whether he's in the house or not? The time period of him slapping her and him going to jail and her calling the police for assistance for the child in the middle. Did she tell you that anybody else watched the child, whether it's a babysitter, a friend, a neighbor, or whatever?
Nobody. But my question is, I still don't know what the timeline is between Eric getting drunk, Eric slapping her, Eric leaving the house, Eric going to the gas station, drinking beer and falling asleep on it. What is that? Was it an hour, 10 hours?
It was like at minimum 12 hours. Again, it's from everything that I read, and I think Brooke just posted it, or Coach or someone, but on the 4th at between 7 and 8 or 8 or 9, a call was made to the police for domestic violence or a domestic situation. The police came. Some point after that, Eric left the house. I don't know if he left when the police were there. They decided to separate them for the night, but we know he was arrested at 2:41 a.m. or 2:43. And we know that the call for the ambulance was 12 hours later. So I think she would have noticed her child unresponsive. And I don't think it would take 12 hours. Again, I'm not a nurse, but I had Brooke on my panel. We've discussed this. She did 2 lives herself on this week. If you want to put your link in there, Brooke, for that. But again, why hazy about that is what I don't understand. And we'll come to what I really want to talk about too.
Hours, 40 minutes, 3 hours. I don't know that time.
All right, but all right, we'll give you that. That's a good point that you make, right? But we're talking about a 5-week-old. We're not talking about my 7-year-old son who just came in and talked to me a little while ago, who could go places by himself. He just went upstairs by himself, go sleep on a couch. He could do his own thing. We're talking about a 5-week-old. So wouldn't she be able to tell us if he was alone with that child? Wouldn't she be able to say, well, at some point, he watched the child while I went to the store, or he was alone in the room with the child as I was in the living room watching TV? Like, even if we're kind of figuring out like how long he was out the house or in the house, somebody should be able to account for who's with the child.
Balbancourt rum, crafted with soul.
This is the fastest proven way to actually clear chronic sinus congestion with no drugs and no.
And she's not giving us that. She's not.
I just want to note, I just noticed some of Generva's comments. She definitely has a feeling about, where did it go? Hold on. Let me pull it. Sorry, I just saw it here. Where did it go? Generva, oh, thank you for saying that. I just saw you say something else there. She said she was done mourning that baby before the baby had passed. Exactly what I said. So obviously Jenny has her own feelings about this nonsense as far as story, or how, excuse me,
giving us anybody else to look at. And allegedly, from what I just read, The police have said that he has nothing to do with this, that he's been ruled out. So the only person who hasn't been ruled out is the mother. And the mother's not giving us anybody else to look at. I'm just wondering, how can we not presume that she might have had something to do with this when she's the only one who could either tell us what happened with the child or...
Thank you for that, Wisco. She says that after the January incident, which I believe is with the dog, Hope House put her in an apartment building. Eric was driving a truck, so he wasn't in town much. They rented out the house. So, yeah, I mean, trust me, I have my own feelings about Eric. I mean, of course, the way we all know TLC, the way they always have a villain and then the saint person. They definitely, I don't think it was hard, though. The things that came out of her mouth about his own daughters was just, I mean, there's editing and then there's editing.
Or who else was with the child who would know what happened to the child?
Yes.
Correct.
I mean, and then if we go by what you've brought to us today, which I cannot verify it, but I will take your word for it because you know more about this case than me. You said that there's evidence, allegedly, that the child had old injuries, which in law enforcement, and like you said, you're not a detective or an investigator, so I'm going to tell you, I'm going to educate you right now. In law enforcement, when we hear about old injuries on children, we automatically assume, and the DA will build a case that this is an ongoing abuse situation. We don't think like, oh, maybe something by accident happened 2 weeks ago.
If Maria's making comments, I can't see them. So I don't think I can. I see people talking to you. I would appreciate it if you want to be in here and be part of the conversation, that I can see them. I can't have understand what you're saying, and maybe I'm just not seeing them. I don't know. But it looks like people are replying to you. So if you're going to stay in here, please unblock. You can block me right after.
We're going to assume the child is dead now because of abuse, and then there's signs of broken bones that are healing from the past. We're going to assume, and it's an assumption that has resulted in many people being convicted off of it. It's an assumption that's very hard to defend against as a defendant. We're going to assume that that person, or that child rather, is experiencing ongoing abuse. So what you just told us today is that that young little baby was experiencing ongoing abuse in that household by who we don't know. We're not saying it's the mother. We're not saying it's the father, but by somebody in that household. That's what that sounds like to me.
Okay. Thank you.
It sounds that way to me too. And whether it be her or Eric or anybody else, they need to find out.
See, and again, I just want you guys to remember this. Maria has, again, been talking to her for a long time, even has her own private investigator. Not her, Leida does. But what she says at the end is what really has me freaking confused as well.
I will ask you one more question. I don't know if you want to stick around and get questions from other people or not. That's on you. But if it is determined that the mother is the one who did it, how would you feel about that?
I would condemn her.
Okay. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't normally do this, but I think I've been very respectful to you today and very kind. I would definitely open up my platform to speak to the mother if she'd be willing to talk. I doubt she would. But if she's willing to talk and let us know her side of the story, we could talk about it. We could talk about it. I'm professional. I'm fair. I will ask her tough questions. I'm not going to lie about this. It's not going to be a fluff piece, but it is an opportunity for her to be heard, because a lot of this story is going to get huge. And a lot of people are talking about it, and they all have their own theories. And if she's innocent and she has nothing to hide, then she should not be afraid of clearing her name, because the only person who can solve this case is her at the end of the day. We'll see about it. Is there anything you want to do? You want to plug your show? You want to tell people how to find you? I think that's awesome. We really appreciate you.
Thank you. Someone in the chat was saying that I'm covering for her. I'm not covering for her. There's just things I can't say.
I don't think so. I think you've been very fair today. I think the things that you said.
I'll condemn her if she's found guilty. Right. That's it.
No, listen, don't worry about the chat. And I'm not being nice to you because you came on my show. I'm telling you my true assessment. You said what you know. You said, hey, I don't know her. We spoke on the internet. We spoke on the phone. We spoke through text message. I can't say. And I think that's a respectable answer. because people do have different lives. And you saw one part of her and her personality, and there might be a whole nother part of her and her personality that you're not privy to. And so you're giving her the deference that she deserves as your friend. But as you said, if you get information that she did do what she did, you would condemn her. And that's all we can ask for. So I really appreciate you coming on the show, ma'am. You've been awesome. And we thank you for not being afraid to share your point of view. And we definitely have a lot of respect for you. Once again, do you want to plug your show before you go or anything like that?
Well, hold on. This is it's this one right here, since I lost my other account until I get it back.
Okay.
This is where you can find me.
All right. So we'll go ahead and have the moderators, if you want, you could just put a message in the chat. Then this is Maria. Go check out my show, and then we'll pin it. And then whoever comes in the chat will be able to see it. All right.
Adulting is hard enough, so why not make one thing easier? I run out of context so quickly, and that's why I turned to 1-800.
Yeah, I promise you guys, more is coming soon.
Well,
and
that tells me, it gives me the wrong, hold on, let's just finish it. It's got like a few seconds.
Just stick around with the Leida and you'll see what's coming up.
All right.
And it's not in the rest.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to seeing it. And if she wants to come on my show and talk about it, we're here for it too. We appreciate you. All right. You have a great night.
Thank you. You too.
All right.
Bye.
So this is Maria, why I am so uncomfortable. Again, this guy's channel. Let me put it one more time with this right here. The fact that you said there's more to come and there's not going to be an arrest. So obviously you know more. It, to me, again, this is what pisses me off. Let me remove this. First, it's like a game of like, you know, again, I have to question why you did that interview. And it's almost like you're, again, and if we're all wrong, you know, a lot of this could have been avoided then if she, you know, if there was somebody else in the house, or God help her if she blames it on that child that she got out of that country. God help her. If that's the way she's going to go with it. But you obviously seem pretty confident that she's not going to be held accountable. It sounds like you're saying she's pretty confident that she's not going to be arrested. So that implies that you guys know a lot more. And any of that and all of that should be shared with the police. And what gets me, and we can listen to my other interview with you, which I have up here. I have a couple other ones all lined up to go. I want to share Kiki and Kibitz's timeline. I got to listen to half of it, but she does a good job. You know, for anybody that needs to be refreshed on the timeline of events, check that out. But I have the interview that I did with you. And again, this is where the narrative right off the bat, you pretty much, you know, how John Yates got it. 1 minute you almost immediately said like they were stolen, but you walked it back. And again, but why hide it all this time that it was Ginny? And what do you know? And why do you feel you get to pick and choose what goes to the police? That I don't understand. They want it all. I'll drop the link. Don't know if you'll come up. But yeah, why? It just, again, perked my ears up first thing this morning when you've been denying for 7 months. And I can't fathom why that was done. If anybody else has any theories. Yeah. And that's why, you know, I've talked to other bloggers and everything, and I'm not going to drag them into this, but I do know things. But again, she's going to put it all on me anyway. She's upset when anybody else covers it. She drugged me. She drugged Heidi. She drugged John. She drugged anybody else that talked about it. Again, we are a 90-day fiancé community. We're going to talk about something like this. But is anyone interested in hearing? So you just heard the latest rendition. If you want to hear how it happened 7 months ago, I can play that for a bit. Let me just get caught up real quick. What else did I have lined up? Hold on. It's the music. Nervous Link, Kiki's. Which one is this? Oh, wait. I may have given the wrong one for Kiki. I think I did. Let's do this one. This is the actual latest stream that she did. What's huge? Oh, yeah. Casey Anthony 2 point. Yeah. I mean, obviously insinuating it's not Leida. Question to you all. When you are called as a witness in a murder trial in another state, do you pay your own airfares, hotel? Maybe somebody else can answer that. I have, I don't want to talk about something that I know about, but I know for some it's reimbursement. Like why they haven't already deposed Maria. If this information was sent 7 months ago, why they haven't already, and again, if they have reached out, great, but it doesn't sound like it. She's going to be deposed and you won't be able to pick and choose what info. What do you mean? Yeah, they do a lot on Zoom now too. Like, yeah, and that's the thing is like, I don't know why go now on this gentleman's channel. Again, I don't know. Said what? I have to look into it more. Whisker, are you the one that lives in the area that's going to be going to if there's a trial? There's that. Whoops. And I would hope that she kept a log. And why again Leida trusted her after the initial conversations that were leaked, I don't understand. So it makes me think there's just a lot of, I mean, again, what else conclusions can you come to other than colluding? Well, I'll play my old interview for a minute and just some of it. I just want you, yeah, guys, so you can see how she came across now versus 7 minutes ago or 7 months ago. I don't see her down here, so I'm guessing she's not going to come. So let me go to this one. In this live, before Maria comes up, we are like going at it in the comments. Let me share. Ugh, good picture. This was from, okay, yeah, before this, if you want to go and actually watch this live, here is the link, and I will give you the date. Hold on. This is the live that I did that Kiki came up, Amber came up, who else? Maria and Anne. No, did not mean to do that. Sorry. Where's more? Damn it, I just want the damn date. July 11th. All right. It says I lost my connection. Can you guys? Is Kiki here? Hey, Kiki. So this is, I just played. Wait, can you guys hear me? Hello. I don't know why it's giving me. All right, it looks good. So this, yeah, let me get caught up here. Right? You and me both. Yep. Well, and that's the thing. The fact that if this information has been out for months and there's been no arrest, why? I want to know why. And so I hope that a lot of the bigger channels, smaller channels, I hope everybody doesn't start fighting over the content or anything like that. Let's just do as many lives and get some questions, some answers. It's so that this just isn't a never resolved nothing. Answers one way or the other. The fact, again, she put herself in that position, and then just choosing some screenshots to send to the police, again, you're going to be deposed. Hey, Christoph, sorry, I'm going back up. And then suddenly now talking about it, that's why I'm confused. All right, let me play this while I get caught up. And that's why you sent it to Jenny. And then there was that thing of she might drop the RO. Hey, Brooke, can you wave at me real quick? Okay. Hello.
Oh Lord, I look rough. Don't tell anybody. Hello. I was just saying in the chat, let me go outside because these dogs are so loud. And maybe somebody that's more versed in law, in like actual criminal law. I mean, I know medical law, but I don't know criminal law. If that, and I'm just brainstorming in your chat, do y'all think that, I mean, I'm really hoping it's the puppy abuse conviction that's holding this up, because I understand being slow about some cases, but this is I don't know if it would even be considered capital murder and was.
Oh, you're just cut out. Can you still hear? Brooke. She's probably still talking. Brooke. Okay. Let me drop the link again. Thanks for coming, Kiki. Yeah, I just went through the old stuff. She has, I haven't looked at the Adams County Court yet. Again, I was going to leave that to the other bloggers. I just wanted, again, my purpose in doing this is just to make sure that the original narrative stays the same. All right. I hope that's you, right?
It's me. Okay. Oh, so I see what Anne's saying. She could be arrested at court. Same thing happened with Michael Vaughn. Because I don't see them like dragging feet on an infant murder case. That seems really odd to me. And now that the autopsy's obviously completed, and like we were saying in the chat, it says abuse by the mother was founded. So, and that's based on the medical examiner's report of the non-accidental death. So
but do you know how long ago this was done? Like Maria said, this was done, released a long time ago. Do you know?
Let me tell you the truth. You don't want to know how I knew about it? I got a text from Jenny. She said she was unblocking me to tell me that, she was unblocking me to ask me what my definition of a non-accidental death was with no context. And I was like, why are you fucking asking me? You know how I am. Why are you asking me? Like, it didn't even cross my mind that that's what she was talking about. And then she actually sent me, I guess the Kiki has me blocked on IG maybe, or I don't know, because she sent me a link and it was to an IG post from Kiki. And I tried to open it. And when I opened it, it wouldn't go to anything. So I tried to, then she screenshot it and sent it to me. So then after that, I saw Sarcasm post it. And then so to me, it seemed like Kiki was the first one that posted it. At least that was what Geneva gave me as a reference point to how she knew.
Okay, so Maria probably was referring to that. So I'll give you that, Maria, as far as this latest piece. My bad on that. But again, because you have me blocked, Maria, on all your comments, again, I have to go off of the stuff that I can see. I'm not going incognito every freaking time there's a live. So don't play victim like, oh, they get it wrong. No, you block people and you put up your freaking community tab. So Kiki, when was that? How long ago was that, Brooke?
That was Thursday night, I believe. Friday night.
Okay. But according to Maria,
a couple days ago,
for a long time.
I mean, Geneva is pretty much in the know of all of this. So like in real time, it seems like. And so, I mean, the fact that she was unblocking me to tell me tells me it was just released.
Okay. And yeah, the consensus seems to be that it was just released. So again, why would Maria say that? Maybe they gave Leida a verbal, hey, this is what we're going to come up with. I don't know, but yeah.
Okay,
but
she's nothing. I'm just hoping that somehow, I know it would, a conviction for puppy abuse would definitely increase the sentencing that she'll get. So I'm just wondering if it could also somehow, and again, I don't know. I mean, it sounds kind of far fetched, but prove some sort of premeditation. I mean, they use prior animal abuse, and psychiatrists, being deposed and testifying in these cases as defining a psychopath or, a serial killer. So why wouldn't they wait to use that as part of their argument to convict her? I mean, that's just my thought, and I'm hoping I'm right. I don't know why I couldn't look at it, Kiki. It was your post about it. Maybe I don't know. It was on my phone. It was weird.
Here, I'll post Kiki's page on here and you can check it later. But let me look at her post when it was. 2 days ago.
And I wonder, and so if I remember correctly, the insanity plea was rejected also on the puppy. So I believe, I think so. I question everything. I question myself every time I try to remember anything. So yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was rejected. So she'll have to find another defense.
Interesting. Like, if my memory is that Eric was saying that Leida was complaining about the puppy all the time, right? And then she obviously abused it, but then he thought, oh, she couldn't handle a puppy. Let me, leave her with the 5-week or a newborn, essentially. That's weird to me.
Oh, one more thing. The report did say 6-month follow-up. So I would have presumed that, 6 months from what date? The date of death would be July 9th. So that 6-month mark would be what? December? July, August, September, October, November, December. So maybe, again, Maria knows shit that we don't because she talks to her. So she told me in Rabbit's chat, she just talked to her last week.
Okay.
Oh, and evidently, that's another thing Geneva told me in that text was she's got the baby care attorney back. So whoever that attorney that has all those cases that they took against people that have been charged with harming or killing an infant or their baby or child abuse, she's got that attorney retained again, from what Jenny told me.
Really? And I'm assuming it's provided by the state.
I would have to think so, but I don't know. Would the state employ an attorney that's getting all these people, these horrible people off their? I don't know. I don't remember if it was a.
She might be pretending to be one. That's a good question. Did her and Eric follow through on that actual separation?
From what I understood, they got back together and they are back together.
They are. I can't imagine. No, can't
That's
imagine.
the last I heard. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, that's not going to play good for either of them if she's going to try to blame it on Eric and then sit there and go to court, or, oh yeah, I took him back, but he did it, and vice versa. So I must, honestly, then it really makes me think the reason she got the son out of the country was because she's going to blame it on him. And that could raise enough reasonable doubt.
Okay, well, that movement right there is circumstantial evidence, though, with like that a jury would be like, why the fuck you shipping your kid off all of a sudden? If, wouldn't you, as a mother that's grieving that your son just did the unthinkable to your infant, you'd keep that child close to you and in your care so that he would be, readily available to, that doesn't make any sense, I don't think.
It makes sense if he saw something and she doesn't want them to interact
That's
with
why
him.
it makes sense. Exactly. But if she tries to then go blame him, that'll be so stupid and transparent to even think that that's
But it could cause
plausible.
reasonable doubt. And if the county is as Barney Fife, as Wisco Gal said, that's concerning. I mean, all you need is really one person. That's why, Maria, these videos, I mean, everybody got the videos that she put. Well, not everybody. I did, at least. From ID, got the videos that she posted herself on the 5th, 6th, and the way she was acting. Those are so important. They absolutely should be admissible. I would hope. Again, I'm no
No,
legal.
especially the one, let's talk about the one. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'll forget when she says the baby's fine. She's just going to the next hospital up the road, the higher level of care, but she's fine, knowing that you just witnessed your baby get cardiopulmonary resuscitated in front of your face. And I'm sorry, I deal with all ages, and that is something you don't ever want to see, is having to put 2 fingers on your little newborn and like giving CPR like that. That's like the worst thing fucking ever. But so then she's going to see all that, witness all that. Now these machines are all attached to a little bitty baby, and you're going to go live from your car and be like, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at the same time, that same day, she's obviously texting Maria from the screenshots we've seen that the baby's critically ill. Oh, she's in heaven, like within 12-hour period. And I'm over it, basically.
I'm over it. And she's still on a ventilator. She should be by her side, crying, holding the last moments of your child's heart beating. And nope, she's setting up an interview on YouTube.
Yeah. So yeah, the only conclusions I can come from when I hear more to come and she doesn't think she's going to be arrested, the only thing I can conclude is that she's going to blame it on the 12-year-old. That's the only thing that makes sense. And tell me I'm wrong, Maria. Wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong.
It wouldn't be the first time Leida comes up with a defense strategy that is completely transparent and stupid. Just like insanity. No, I mean, I don't know. They can depict that child, and even though he's a talk, he can draw, like, however he's able to communicate. They will figure it out, or I'm sure they've got ways.
He should have. Again, I didn't really look at the CPS records, or I don't know how much has been released. But why didn't they scan that child to see if he had broken bones? If there was a suspicion of abuse right from the get.
And what were all those prior CPS cases open for and were regarding? Because they were all on him, because the baby obviously wasn't born yet. So in 2022, and the other ones that report lists, why was there so many open or suspected abuse cases?
Oh, they dropped it. Yeah. Okay. In August 2025. Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, Brooke and I did a live like 7 months ago also, and I played like some of her Facebook stuff. And that's where I saw her pregnant. But I swear more videos were about the dog, it seemed. than her family, which is odd since she was having such an issue with the dog.
Oh, that's because that's going to be her in her mind. That's her posting proof that she loves the dog. Why should she be getting convicted of animal abuse while I'm posting all these videos proving I
That's
love this dog?
It was after the arrest, the majority of them. I mean, there was a couple in December when they got the puppy, when it was actually a puppy. Then there's a couple of them in a hotel room after they got the puppy. But yeah, the rest were when she was like 6 months pregnant and the dog is running around.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's messed up. Yeah, they
She's
took
a
her
psychopath for real.
and it's not going to go away. It's going to get more and more people are going to be covering this. A, because it's another TLC cast member that's belongs in jail. And just the nature of that poor baby's death.
Well, but being a fake doctor isn't going to help her in this aspect because she better get her story straight. Because I'm telling you right now, by reports from EMS, the hospital staff, the nurses, the doctors, the case managers, and down to the medical examiner, they know exactly the time frame that baby was injured and exactly when it died. So, and even like, of course, they know when it was taken off the ventilator. I mean, they know exactly when the brain death occurred. So she better get her fake doctor skills sharpened up because she's going to have to be very accurate if she plans on lying about this and blaming it on anybody.
Right.
Right.
And I agree that she'll be held liable to some degree. If she knew that her son had, let's say he was violent, known to be violent, and that was part of the DCF, that'll all come out, I'm sure. But it definitely won't be as severe as second degree or first degree murder. It's my understanding in most of these cases, it's going to be second degree because they can't prove intent. I don't know the whole sequence of things, so I would love to hear that. I want to go listen again to Kiki or anybody else that's covered it. The sequence, like when they started selling things, was it before the baby was injured? Was it because she was about to take off with the
I
child?
believe it was the month prior that she started, because we remember we all just couldn't believe she was actually selling a rice cooker. Like, how hard up do you have to be? And why? She was like liquidating everything. But
Right.
remember, she had also gotten in trouble or something with that trucking thing. And then she was on Facebook Marketplace trying to sell the truck, but saying it wasn't in her name. Just shady damn shit all around. And then like Wisco Gal said in the chat, they were letting other people live in that house. Well, then where was she living? It's a lot. We need the whiteboard, I think. I'm afraid. I fear.
No, you all make fun of me when I bring out the whiteboard.
No, this is definitely calls for the whiteboard because it's going to take the timeline's important.
All right, I'm gonna drop the link one more time for anybody else. If Kiki, if you want to come up, and or Maria, if you want to come up, I probably won't. But I am gonna end this by playing a bit of that interview that we did 7 months ago. Indonesia non-extradition. There you go. For the child, I don't believe she took him because I think she would have stayed there. I think the sister came and picked him up. Yeah, I don't know how she could have gotten out of the country when she had a bail. That was always weird to me. Who do we got?
So then did the bail jumping charge come from her just going to a different county to get to the international airport, if that's the case? Or was the bail jumping coming from going to Indonesia without
I had heard it was when she went to like Chicago or wherever to get the
oh, that's right.
Hey George, I'm sorry, but can you just show me your face again because I see a different initial. Okay. All right, we're gonna add George up. Open panel now. Hey George.
Hey, I just wanted to say that there's just seems to be, to me, in my opinion, there seems to be a lot of things that's just off with this. Like Maria's story is definitely changing from what she said before. And knowing Jenny, the timeline that is given is all from Jenny. I feel like there's a lot of covering up here. I don't really feel like the story that they put out is true. And if you remember, Jenny said something like she put a lot of work into this. She wanted to be tipped for this. And Brooke, I sent you that in your DMs. If you check your DMs.
Oh, yes, I have that.
Yes.
And then she tried to say, "Oh, edit to add. I meant if y'all wanted to give me any tips on the case."
Yeah, until she got called out about it. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a lie and Maria, Jenny, and all of them knew what was really going on. And this is the story that they put out.
Yeah, well, and
It just,
it wasn't a one-time information leak to John. It was, a lot of information was being leaked to John, and obviously Maria knew it was being leaked to John this entire time. It wasn't like Jenny got her hand smacked. But I have a list of all the cases, and the timeline, so I can look at the actual records and compare it to Jenny's timeline. Maybe I put too much trust in it that she put it together for, John and wanted him to appear, accurate.
yeah. Because it seems to be Maria's going out and doing damage control. Now she's saying, oh, maybe a babysitter might have done all this. This is very weird. The whole thing seems off to me. And I just feel like when we're talking about a baby that has died at 5 weeks old, I don't understand why she wants to keep her hands into this. I would have washed my hands clean of Leida the second I've heard from this. This just doesn't make sense to me. To be honest with you, I feel like the investigators and all that need to be tipped off, and they need to be told, hey, check Jenny's devices and check Maria's devices and get Leida's devices, because this is way off. It is really, really weird.
Exactly. I would not even be covering this if I didn't see that live last night. I'll take that I misinterpreted her post yesterday, but the live and the changing of, suddenly now Jenny is willing to say, yeah, I did it. Why did they hide it before? Why now? But what was the other point? If there was somebody else involved, sorry, I'm gonna go inside. Guy decided to do his lawn, but if there was a babysitter involved, I would have thought immediately we would have seen those in the screenshots, like Leida, I would have been like, oh my God, Becky, I let watch my baby. And now, you know what I mean?
I would have said it a lot.
Right. There's no blame other than on Eric. There's nothing, so good luck with that.
And even Leida said, my dad said, get home now, Leida. He told you that, Leida, because he knew you killed the baby. Your dad knew you did that. And,
that's what I
this is way off. And I just feel like the whole thing is a lie. I feel
You
like
said,
Jenny's
"Get
timeline.
home. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to die."
To fucking die.
Yeah, I feel like Leida or Jenny's timeline, I feel like that's off. I feel like it's made up, it's set up, all of that. I don't know that I trust anything they say anymore. And I don't know what I said to Maria for her to say that on her community tab. But as I recall, Maria, those were not voice notes from IG. It was a conversation, like a phone conversation, but Maria only recorded Leida's side of it. You remember that?
Yep.
And Maria also never called the police because remember, Maria was scared that she was going to get served with that RO from me. So she never called the police.
Yeah. And well, I remember reading somewhere where Jenny says she updated the police twice, but again, she's only being given, I imagine, what Maria feels like sharing or narrative she's pushing to be shared. And she's going to mess up. That's the other thing. Like, does she realize she could really, the credibility of her is going to affect the case. The way that, she handled this information or, all of it, it could really look like they're colluding together and talked about ahead of time what to put in the DM or chats to each other. I mean, it really could throw out all of that. So I'm really disappointed in the way that this was handled. This should have been her dealing with the police. Sorry you have trauma with police, but this really, I'll be pissed if this all that info gets thrown out because of credibility issues.
Yeah.
Big time.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. But you guys have a good day. Thank you for letting me
Right, George.
Talk to you guys later.
All right, George. Have a good day.
You too. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, George.
So, do you guys want to hear the interview that was done 7 months ago? Parts of it. Let me know, and we can play some of that.
Yes, play that,
All right.
please.
Here we go. Let me back up. She had just basically come on panel. Yeah. It'll catch up here in a second.
No, but here's the deal, Wisco, is that whatever she tries, whatever Leida tells the cops better be exactly what the firsthand account that she gave Maria. I think those recordings are going to be extremely important. Extremely.
Absolutely.
For the prosecution. In fact, I think those recordings are so important that they could definitely lead to a conviction. That's why I'm joking in the chat, but being dead ass serious that she's going to be on Dateline or some shit, because this is going to be a huge case. And those recordings are going to be a huge piece of evidence. Trust and believe.
Yeah. Unless they say, you know what? This is a woman that likes to, play games or whatever, you know what I mean? It just could taint all of that evidence. That's what I'm worried about. Maybe, and I wonder if that's not being done at this point because they realize how damaging it was in the beginning. All right, here we go. And sorry, Jenny, if this is what's also confusing me, Brooke, before I play this, Jenny's like saying the right words that all I want is this, this woman to be held accountable. But why did you take these recordings and give them to John Yates and other people you knew it was going to be shared, and you knew that Leida would find out that Maria had shared it? So again, none of it has ever made total sense to me.
That's what I asked her in Rabbit's chat. I was like, Maria, weren't you mad at Geneva? Like that you're saying these were stolen recordings? Like, I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong, but Maria, I've done less for Maria to oust me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she would get pissed off at something like that. At that level of betrayal, her not knowing, I don't see Maria just be like, oh, well, that's not her character. And then furthermore, about the evidence, if that's, and I remember them to be IG recordings, and if they are, that phone will get downloaded and the police will get the original conversation thread without issue. So they'll be able to do that.
All right, let me try playing this. I had muted it because she hadn't come up on panel, but she comes up on panel now. Y'all can hear that, right? Come on, Maria. Gosh. Let me remove it and add it again. Sometimes that happens. Share screen.
And if I felt guilty, if I didn't say something. Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, how about now? Yes, good.
I didn't share that with people. I shared it with one person because I want nothing to do with the police, with the courts, with nothing anymore. And if I felt guilty, if I didn't say something and something were to happen, or if somebody who should have not gotten away with something got away with something, and hopefully none of them got away with anything.
And see, there's the none of them again. It's she's said them a few times now. So that's interesting.
And nothing comes out of it. But whatever happened with that baby, I'm not sitting on anything that I have and not saying anything, but I want no involvement. The whole trauma with the courts and the police.
You can't say you want no involvement, but then say, take those down so I can keep her talking to me. And yes, I trusted one person to give it to the police that shared it with the world. You can't say you want no involvement when you obviously involved yourself, period.
This has traumatized me to the fact that I want no involvement with nobody from there. And the person that I gave it to them.
What is going on? Okay, I want to make sure you can hear. Y'all can hear, right? Damn lie. Okay. I'm assuming you guys can hear.
She told me the same thing, that she thought she for sure was guilty and that she just wanted to keep her talking and that she didn't want to do this or that. She'd stop talking to her. So there's that.
They did get it to the police. The only thing is that they shared it. I had a problem with Heidi sharing it, with everybody else, every other blogger that started sharing it when it wasn't meant to be shared. And when Heidi decided to share it and wasn't going to back off, then I said, fuck it, here you go, Kiki. I didn't share anything with Kiki.
This is very important, guys. This is an absolute lie.
Until after. I do talk to Kiki on the phone on IG, and I told her Leida was going through this, and I told her when Leida's daughter passed.
No, Kiki comes up in a little bit and says, no, I've been working on this with Maria since Sunday. And if I'm not mistaken, Jenny says it was shared with her on Sunday as well.
But it wasn't meant for the video was for the police department. It wasn't meant for the YouTube.
Okay, then I have a couple questions. I totally get that we've all had bad issues, whatever, with the police and whatnot. But did you really think that someone else was going to be able to give your recordings and your screenshots and that they
Well, I've done it once before.
In death of a baby?
No, and not in the death of a baby, but in the death of someone else. And I didn't get involved in it.
Well, did the police even take it serious? Were they investigating?
Yes, they did investigate it. And it got taken care of.
You know what, Marie, I guess I'm having a hard time because of our history and how I know things were shared, that it was shared with, that it got around the world in like literally a day, or I don't know when this all happened. It looks like what, Sunday, Monday? Is that correct?
Sunday.
The baby died on Sunday.
The only reason I didn't go live with her was because I don't want to get involved. I don't want to get involved in giving her a platform or giving Eric a platform or doing anything with her.
But you're involved now. That's what I don't understand. I would have respected that if you hadn't been on, some large bloggers live last night.
Has to do with whatever happened there. Don't want it on my platform. That's why I said I couldn't do it. I know the next day I had to go to work and I was going to work.
Again, though, I guess there's only a handful of people will know if it was shared to a group of people, and if they want to pretend they didn't see it, and you're saying it's only sent to one person, I can
tell you that the people who posted it I don't talk to. So there you go. It wasn't.
I can tell you what. I can tell you. I can tell you what Maria.
Everywhere.
So
asked me and told me she reported it to the police department.
Hold on, the police sent it out. I mean, how did it get this? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I thought that was you talking now, but even still, I'll answer that question because disclaimer, I'll just let everybody know I unblocked Maria with that John accusation about all of us knowing shit, just to kind of compare my notes. Because again, I question myself. I mean, I know exactly what happened, but I unblocked her and she remains unlocked. And she told me just now, a little while ago, that she gave that all the information, all of this proof about Leida to paging John Yates, who she said is Amber C. I guess, I don't know if Amber C's ever admitted to that or not. I can't, all this shit.
Wait, what?
That's what she told me today. And that's why I asked for the link for her. I said, if that's the truth, Maria, then go click the link and tell E. If that's truly the truth, go tell her. That's what I asked for the link.
Did you see the live last night where she's saying that she gave it to Jenny?
Exactly. I heard you play that after, like, I heard you play that after she told me that.
That's some serious game playing. Like, again, pointing the finger just like she did 7 months ago. But Jenny was proud to take the claim last night. That's bizarre. I would love to understand that. Why
Maria, if you're listening, click the link because you just texted me like less than 5 minutes ago.
So that would mean 7 months ago, she knew that paging John Yates or whatever was Amber Sherrington.
I don't know. I guess only she can explain. I didn't ask any really pointed questions.
Why would you give that kind of information to this anonymous Redditor?
She said it's because she was going to call the police. And then I said, well, then how did Jenny get it? She said Amber gave it to her. So she called the police. That's what she told me today.
Oh my God, that's completely different than what she even said last night. She said she gave it to Jenny.
Maria, click the link. Drop it for her. Drop it like it's hot.
Dropping it.
I don't remember if we've determined if I can drop and go text somebody and not be disconnected. We're about to find out.
Yeah, find out. Yeah, Jenny was literally in the chat. But 7 months ago, Jenny made it very clear. I didn't get this from Maria.
Confirmed. I can. I did, Rainbow.
I mean, why even? Because she didn't mention that account at all last night. Then that brings even more people into it. Okay, we'll play while she decides what she wants to do. Let me see. Nope, nobody's back there. Okay, I'm gonna play for a second. Sorry, I don't know if you guys can hear that lawn thing. I'm gonna mute while I play. This isn't like
I'm telling you, the person who I sent it obviously sent it out to some other people that I don't even talk to. Because if I would have known those people were going to get it, I wouldn't have sent it out to her. I did not want to get involved with the police. I'm sick of the YouTube drama with the police shit and everything. But I thought this wasn't YouTube. It wasn't even on YouTube. It wasn't on IG, and I don't think that it should have been on YouTube, period.
Then
If
why
I
did
decide
you record it? And
I sent listen to me. There's a whole list of messages, a whole amount of messages between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with me and Leida.
Part of me thinks that she's listening to this to see what she said 6 months ago, and then I'll formulate maybe a story to come up and somehow get these two narratives that make, try to make sense of it. Because maybe she doesn't remember what she said 7 months ago on my panel. Maybe she thought everything disappeared when her channel disappeared, but it didn't.
I recorded that part for the police. I didn't record the whole videos. I didn't record the whole chat. I only recorded what I thought they needed to know.
You don't think they're going to come back and want all of it when you hear just that most to me? If there's a more damning piece, God bless.
What can they do by telling me? I gave them what they needed, and that's it for me. Nothing else is going to happen.
No,
that's where you're wrong, ma'am. That's where you're wrong. You're a key witness here to behavior of a mother that just injured their baby to the point
but she's
of death.
That there's more to come, and implying that somebody else is guilty. You know what I mean? So did you send info to the police?
And I asked her that. A minute ago. I'm like, Maria, I said, why are you taking up for her like this, dude? I'm like, what do you mean there's not gonna? She goes, she hasn't even been questioned. I said, not yet.
That does not make sense at all. No.
Click the link, Maria. I know you're listening.
I'd rather talk to you now, Maria, than we play through this. And just, I've already summed up what was said 7 months ago. But we'll wait.
Kiki and Kivitz doesn't have not even a quarter of it. She has the same thing everybody else posted. When I saw Heidi,
I mean, from my conversations with Kiki was told she was the only one that had this info. So much so that she contacted me yesterday because I had just posted it on IG. I thought I had it 7 months ago. I'm like, oh, I'll post the audio and the videos that I have on IG. And she's like, how did you get those? And I'm like, I've had those. And she still believed that, that Maria told her she's the only one that had them. That's my understanding. When did you talk to Kiki? I gotta go outside for this.
I talked to Kiki. I've been talking to Kiki for months.
No, like when did you talk to her about this?
When the baby passed.
So Sunday? I thought you just said you didn't talk to Kiki until it was already all the way around the universe.
No, I said I didn't give it to Kiki till I saw Heidi post it, and I said, bullshit. If Heidi's gonna post it, Kiki's gonna give out the right information.
So what did you tell Kiki then? Why would you contact her and tell her of all people that the baby died? Another blogger, if you didn't want to make it, if it was private business.
I've been talking to Kiki for a long time. She said things to me, and I've said things to her that have never leaked. And she wouldn't have said, she didn't say anything until she asked me permission if she could post it. And I said, Heidi just posted all that shit. So, and I told Leida, I said, Heidi posted it.
So again, she's saying that she did not give it to Kiki until the baby died, which was Wednesday or Thursday, the 9th. But Kiki's going to say different.
And then when Siwa decided to message Leida thinking she was snitching on me, Leida sent it directly to me and said, here's all her emails. She thinks she's getting away with this when you had already told me.
But you don't see the irony here, Maria, that this morning your entire live was about calling Siwa a snitch when you were the one that recorded it to give it to the police?
That's not a snitch. Recording it and recording something. It's not like a phone conversation. It was an IG message, and it was something that was serious. It wasn't like let's go and gossip about somebody. It was something very serious.
She was telling Leida it was the same. She was talking about your snitching. How can you not see that? You're mad at other people.
Did you not read the emails?
I get all the dramatics with Siwa. Look, you're not wrong to point that out. Okay, I'll give you that. Excuse, you're kind of cutting out.
Do you think she's doing it because she's a good person, or do you think she's doing it because she hates Momo and Brooke?
You're missing the point.
She made it all about herself on that email.
Yeah, I get that. That's Siwa. But the nerve of you to call her a snitch when you're recording it, giving it to a person to take to the police. And I get that's the right thing to do.
Not something like, oh, I had an affair. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. This is something beyond something gossipy. It's something serious.
Then why the fuck wasn't it serious on your freaking panel today, on your show today? You're laughing and yucking it up. It was disgusting.
I'm laughing at Siwa. I'm not going into the details with Leida. It's two different things. I'm not laughing at Leida. I'm laughing at Siwa. I'm not touching Leida.
That a baby died. I'm sorry. That is always.
I remember that
live.
Like, a few things it was a major deflection. It was all about Siwa and nothing about the fact that a baby had passed. Yeah, she had me. I did see her come into my chat earlier, so she must have at least unblocked me for that. So she has the ability to. I don't have her blocked.
Things around here that stick with me, and to hear the jovial laugh when the child was beaten to death.
It wasn't.
Sorry, Brooke. You say something?
Look at Annie's comment. This doesn't make sense. Why would you tell the police if you didn't believe there was a baby?
Exactly. Or leave your parts of the messages out. Like when she recorded it, it was just like George pointed out. It was all just Leida's messages. Like why? Again, they're going to want all of it. What you were asking, what you were saying, the context. I'll post it again.
The subject. There was no subject of that in my life. It was Siwa. It was what Siwa was doing. I was not touching Leida with a 10-foot pole. I'm not putting it on my live. I'm not giving her a platform to talk about it. None of that shit I did. But what Siwa was doing, what I was bringing out.
Not the person that passed it out, not you giving it to Kiki and Kibitz to try to beat other people to the scoop, but you gave it to that person. Who isn't the person that shared it a snitch?
I told her that, I told Leida that Heidi had put it out there. Some other people had put it out there. So fuck it. Give it to Kiki and Kibitz and let them put it out there. Let them say at least I was able to tell her the truth, not by Heidi just posting shit out there and not saying anything. She had no idea about anything.
If this landed in your lap and you see that there's a dead baby in the middle of it and that the person is even saying, I think she did it, and is trying to you would be freaking blowing it up too, Maria. It's not for
drama. It's somebody's real life, E11. It has to go through the.
Oh, so, blowing up someone's relationship isn't real life that she's doing right now. I love the. Oh my God. Okay. There's boundaries.
Not to you.
Play. No, hold on. If it's not for drama, then you wouldn't have done it yourself to contact Kiki to make it freaking drama.
I did it after Heidi posted it. I put it after Heidi posted it.
Don't act like I'm more.
You did not. And again, Kiki comes up to tell you that's not true.
High ground. You're just trying to beat her to the
no. Fuck Heidi with her stupid running out, because to Heidi, everything is about YouTube and to get the next view who's going to be there. She wanted to post it without having any information on anything, then give it to Kiki and let her do it. And I told Leida that I did it. I said I gave it to Kiki because Heidi and other bloggers wanted to run with it. Like if they had this information and it's not supposed to be out there. They're giving out all the wrong information. They're not saying it correctly. They're not worried that something could have happened to that child when they had a domestic violence. Something happened that night. And they're making it all about the drama on YouTube. So fuck it. If she's going to put it out like that, let Kiki put it out.
They weren't. They were making it about the fact that Leida's demeanor, the way that then make me understand this. Why is Leida even still talking to you when you literally sat there and said, I think she did it?
I said that something happened. She told me they had a domestic fight. They had some domestic violence, and she might have been holding the baby, and he hit her. So if that's what happened, then it needs to be investigated.
No, you said, I think she did it. I have the screenshots.
She might have done it. He might have done it. I'm not sitting on
it. Say that though. I'm just curious why Leida has this infinite trust to go
because she's a victim of domestic violence. She keeps going back to Eric. So it has to be figured out what happened.
What?
Why am I blaming her?
You literally said, I think she did it. That means you know more from the demeanor, from the conversations that you had for you to come to that conclusion.
I'm telling you, I think she
And now you're
knows.
gonna make her
She knows what happened. She knows what happened.
Of course she does.
She's got to know what happened because they got into a domestic fight that night and something happened to the baby. Maybe she's
That's
covering
not
for him.
what you said. That's not what you
Maybe
said.
I'm telling you what she said to me. Maybe she's covering up because people that have been in domestic violence do that shit. They cover up for people. And I wanted it to be cleared that maybe it happened through them, maybe it didn't. They still haven't done an autopsy. They don't know what the baby died of. So until they figure out, it's very easy.
She clearly was throwing Eric under the bus on her IG that day. And I'm talking about Leida. So that doesn't even make sense either. I mean, no.
I don't even think when she said that it was something in the back or something in a fracture in the head that she knew everything that was going on.
Brain. I'm just going to tell you the way it looks is like
a report.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Have you seen a report?
Of course not.
Nobody has yet.
No, but I've seen you and Leida. I don't want to use the word scheming. I'm really trying to think of another word to do an interview and get out in front of this. That's how it looks. But then you go and send these to other people.
Did you not see me turn her down?
No, I didn't see you turn her down. I didn't. Hey, Ann, can you just wave or something? Okay. Welcome to. Thank you. Hello.
Hi, I just wanted to point something out. So a couple of things that I do know. Mary from Kiki and Kibitz and Maria only started talking a few months before, and it was because Maria was going to interview Leida when Eric got arrested for DV. So she had left him then. Remember, she was making big posts and going public about it. Maria was going to interview her. I've still got the thumbnail I made for Maria for that live. So that's when she started talking to Kiki. Now, when she went to Kiki with that recording, she didn't believe there was a baby. She 100% did not believe that there was a baby. She also shared it with Jenny. She shared it with her group chat. She shared it with multiple people. It wasn't just one pair. And it wasn't, oh, it's serious, there's a baby. She didn't believe her. So, and I'm only saying this because this is about the death of a baby. I'm not even coming for Maria at this point. I think Maria has been very, very foolish talking about this over and over. She's talked herself into being a witness for this case, and it's something personally, I mean, if I had to, obviously, about a baby, I would speak up. But to start defending this evil bitch now, like just don't do it. Just take a step back, because this is going to. I believe Leida's using Maria. 100. This is the woman that showed no empathy when that kid was in hospital, that baby, and when she passed away. But now she cries every time she mentions it. Yeah, because she's heard what the public had to say.
Right.
She's heard. So she's playing off. Leida's not stupid. She's not stupid, but I do believe she's using Maria, and I just think I would not be speaking for her, because even the report says at the hands of the mother. There's also a neglect charge there, and Wisco put in the chat earlier that she had left little, is it Alex? What's her little boy's name?
Yeah.
Alas.
So
Alice.
Yeah.
So she had left Alice in the home himself, and he got outside and he got locked out of the building. Wisco put it in the chat earlier. That's why DCFS were involved with her and him in the first place.
Was there multiple calls, though, is my understanding?
No.
If you
Not
look at
sure.
that report, the second page, it'll start talking about CPS cases in 2022. And I believe there was one other noted in there, if I'm not mistaken.
So I just think Leida's a very manipulative person. She's a liar. She's a sociopath. She's a psychopath. She definitely is. She's got no. She doesn't seem to have the emotions that other people have, like the normal maternal. She's a different fish. Put it that way.
Yeah, I could see them each having their own agenda. Maria having her own agenda and Leida having her own agenda. And I'm not saying Maria's agenda was bad in the beginning. I just don't understand why the narrative changed. Let me ask you a question, though, Anna, because I remember asking you a few months ago or whenever, if you knew Leida was pregnant, and you said
Yes.
you knew she was because she had posted on her IG. Is that correct?
Correct. So, but the thing is, I used to speak to her about her pregnancy. So after Eric, because she was pregnant when that happened, the whole thing with the dog as well, she was pregnant.
Like 6 months, right?
That's the first
Yep.
time I heard she was pregnant. But did you knew before that though? Correct.
I think I knew then. I think I definitely knew then because after that she was posting about Eric, and I was messaging her saying, right, okay, all that's happened, but how's the pregnancy? Is the baby okay? Is everything okay? And she was very blasé, like, yeah, everything's fine. After the baby was born, she told me, because we, like, that was the sort of messages we had. This is why I would be very careful about saying you're friends with people when, I mean, Maria was fighting with her and Eric at one point really bad on Reddit and stuff, like really bad, coming at each other. Eric despised Maria. He's never liked Maria. And so to say that she's your friend but you don't know she's pregnant is a bit crazy to me. I would
Right.
just say someone you've known online, somebody you've spoken to. Maybe the friendship has built now, but I think if it has, Leida is manipulating that.
But no, but how
And
can you have friendship when Kiki admits that the initial story they were working on was that Leida was lying about being pregnant. So I think friendship is that's what's interesting. She
so
was
what I
literally
think happened,
working
yeah,
on
but
it.
I think other people started posting, and I think Maria was trying to say to them, haha, see, there was no baby. I think because I know the way Maria works.
So she was
I
going
think,
at it for one angle and ended up with a much bigger angle or story out of it,
yeah,
essentially.
I think she was pissed off that they had posted this, but then again, she had already said to, see, this is where it's not making sense. How can you say you don't believe she was pregnant, but you also told Julie prior to that you believe she killed that baby?
Exactly.
Because that's the text that was posted. And then she said, well, but then that was after the event, wasn't it? Because she'd already spoke to Kiki, so she'd, right, okay, because she's telling the timeline differently, that's what it is. Uh,
Exactly.
right, okay. So initially she didn't believe there was a baby. And then when she did, she said to Julie, yep, I believe she hurt that baby. Why has that suddenly changed? Because I was getting the impression, listening to her, she was trying to insinuate Eric last night. She was trying
Definitely.
to put blame on Eric, and that's fucking bullshit to do that. That is a horrible thing to do, because if he is innocent, don't do that. That baby was in her care and is now deceased. I think it's very clear where the guilt lies. The report is placing the guilt on her. The report says at the hands of the mother.
But that's why I think, yeah, that she's definitely, the way Maria said there's more to come. I definitely think there's obviously Leida has been working on some kind of defense strategy all this time.
I
So
don't think so. I think Maria was follow my channel. That's exactly
well,
how I
that
took
too.
that,
I mean,
because
I'm
he
talking
had just said, drop your channel in the chat. And then at the end of that, she said, and there's more to come. As if, yep, follow me and you'll get the rest of the story. That was exactly how I took that.
true. But
Mhm.
I don't know.
That was how I know Maria. Maria turned that into an opportunity, and it's probably one of the other ones, Jendi, Geneva, somebody has seen that live and said to Maria, "This live's going on, let's go." And because they all went in, Jendi was there, Geneva was there, Maria was there. It's just you're getting, you can't. I don't know where the logic is. This is where I think, to be honest with you, I think Maria's I think she's quite a gullible person at times. And I think she is very naive to think that you could hand that recording over, but you're traumatized by police and you're not going to be dragged into a court case.
Mm-hmm.
That to me blows my fucking mind.
She deputized herself, and I know, being ridiculous. But yeah, it is weird. I've never heard of that guy, no disrespect. Um,
Mhm.
to end up on that late night live, definitely odd.
I mean, I mean, don't we think that maybe he was contacted by somebody to run this story? I mean, how does anybody know
That's a
who
good, yeah.
this is? I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
That is a good question. If it was a setup beforehand, or she found
I
out
think
they were talking about it.
I think people, because from what Wisco was saying, it's a bit of a poor state, and the police are working slowly and stuff. I think people need to start contacting that police department. I think the more people that tag that police department, that contact that police department, that email that police department, the better. I think people need to actively start pushing that police department for justice for baby Alisa. And I feel that completely in my heart. I just feel, yeah, people can keep doing lives, but I think we need to do something about this, because that report said at the hands of the mother, she's hurt that baby. That baby's deceased. And as Sarah put in the chat earlier, for them to say it was a previous injury, the baby was 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Also, it's worth noting that not only did they note that at the hands of Lita, she's killed her own child, but she's also free as a bird. She's not in any jail cell. I see a lot of TikTokers reporting on this, and they have this shit completely wrong, because a lot of people seem to think she's in jail, but in jail over the embezzlement. No, ma'am, she is free as a bird at this moment in time.
Brooke, she was moved into accommodation that was for victims of DV. Remember, that's where she was moved into. I don't know where she is now, but that's where she was moved into. It was like a shelter, like a place, like a shelter for women.
Right.
They'd given her a home to stay in, and she was living there free as a bird, like not giving a damn. She jumped bail at one point, went back to Indonesia, came back here. Like, there are so many different things this woman's breached. She thinks she's above the law. That I think people need to start holding that police department accountable. I think people need to start putting pressure on them.
Well, apparently it was Rabbit that contacted him to cover it. That's what Kuja's telling me, and that makes sense, because I did talk to Rabbit for a bit yesterday, and yeah, we're on the same page. We just want to get as much information out there.
Yeah.
Get more coverage. So hopefully bigger channels will cover it. And put some
I just
pressure.
think we've got. Yeah, I think the pressure's got to be put on. And again, this has got nothing to do with any feelings that I've got about Maria, anybody else involved. I don't care. The only thing that is in my sights right now is that baby and this woman. And see, if she's not guilty, let her be proven not guilty in a court of law. Let her defend herself. Let her because the report says she is guilty.
Yeah. And if you're going to do these interviews, don't be changing the time. I don't want people reporting on the wrong things, because again, if I was John, I'd be upset. Here he's given this information, and then it's basically saying, it was stolen. But then she corrected it, and Ginny then said, no, I gave it to him. So just bizarre. Just bizarre. That's why I did this live, is because I'm like, okay, if bigger channels are going to cover it, just make sure they know, this stupid nonsense. Like Maria's not the savior that was trying to, be a detective. She makes it very clear here she didn't want to be involved, but now she's kind of.
Even in those messages, she was completely hypocritical. Yes, I think she killed her baby, and yes, take that down so I can get more information from her. Basically, use against her.
Yeah.
So she's completely backtracked on that. Now Leida cries over her baby. No, Leida doesn't cry over her baby. Leida cries over her freedom. Leida cries because she knows she's in trouble. That's why Leida cries.
That's exactly right. She's afraid.
Yeah, because she's afraid, because it's all about her. She is. I don't even know. She's completely. She's void of emotion. Like, and if she's pretending, and it will be pretending to cry on that phone, Maria. Like, this is the gullible part. This is definitely the gullible part. And she's using you, and she's manipulating you. And again, you're allowing her to do that. But do you know what? You can talk about it in court, because that is where this is going to end, in court.
Yeah, she
I think
absolutely. That's what I mean. This interview that I do with her, if you guys want to, if you want to sit and listen to it as
But I'm
well,
going
she,
to point out something else. The police department were contacted by someone else, and
yep,
on that call, the police department said they did not receive any recordings.
yeah, I wrote up
Yeah,
the detail, but I didn't send it. I wrote because I wanted the sequence of events to
yeah,
be documented of, hey, there's these IG videos that are now gone because they're stories, but here's where you can find them. Here's the audios. They're gone, off probably, obviously they're off Maria's page, but here's where you can find them. The person that I talked to had said that they did receive a call, but they didn't receive all this other information. It was different information, additional information. So, but Jenny says that she called 2 additional times, but again, if Jenny would have to say if the police have called her back, they should be talking to Maria. And they would be telling Maria, do not do any freaking interviews. So it just doesn't make sense.
exactly. This is what I'm saying. I think people need to actively start contacting that police department. Let that just email them recordings, email them links, and say you need to do something about this, women. You need to do something about this. It's not acceptable. And she's sauntering about living her life. If she's not guilty, let her be found not guilty. But she's got to me, the process has got to be started somewhere. And I think it's just ludicrous to me. I've always been a person innocent until proven guilty. And I did think she was guilty. I thought it. I felt it. But a part of me was like, you can't annihilate it until you know. That report said it all. That report blamed her.
Yeah. It again, if it's been out a long time, then I'm really disappointed in that police department, that prosecutor's office. And check your DMs, by the way. Someone.
And isn't it alarming? And I know I said this prior in my live and in chats, but I mean, I just still can't wrap my head around the fact that this is all going to eventually come to a head. That what the truth is and what's going to actually come out of this. And while it's all up in the air and nobody else knows, you're going to be in YouTube chats threatening people. You're going to be striking people. You're going to be doing all this, that, and the third. Like, to me, is bewildering. I mean, that just it proves no remorse to just be. Not only did the video show no remorse, obviously, in her face, in everything, in her expressions, in her conversation, and what she's talking about, what she's concerned with, but so does being in these YouTube streets and fucking just carrying on and going into chats and hello everybody and going into comment sections. It blows my fucking mind. It
And
truly does.
did you even look at the book did she write a book or something?
Yeah, John got struck for us reading it.
What was
even though we purchased it?
What was the
It was
plot?
weird. It was like we didn't ever finish it, but as you read it, it's like about a woman that's getting in trouble for doing something. I don't really know what. It almost looked like she was trying to tell a adjacent story of this story.
So the OJ Simpson, if I did it vibe. Okay. Gotcha.
Right.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit. Yes.
So I wonder, Brooke, when did Amber Roberts get that email? See the email? Does anybody have that email that Amber was sent from the BSAN account?
I do. She
Right.
sent it to me.
What's the date and time on that email?
Well, it's the day of this live. Amber comes up later on this live. Let me look at the date. So she sent it to me then. I think I already said it.
Do you see the date on her email though? Can you see the date on when she received it as my?
Let me look.
Thank you.
I'm looking. Gotta go back. Find the right one. Okay. Sorry, gotta scroll a bit to July. Now, come on.
Thanks, Wisco Gal.
That's weird. I'll have to check my DMs with Amber. Maybe it was an email. Let me double check.
It's an email. It's an email. I just want to know the time that Amber got the email.
All right, let me check my DMs. Y'all keep talking while I look here. What's Amber's IG? Just go back.
No, Amber Roberts didn't have IG, does she?
Yeah, she did, because that's how she sent it to me. This was the first time I had talked to her. Hold on, someone else sent me something to. Let me go back. Hold on. It was about 7 months ago.
Yep.
Sorry.
Well, we're around the beginning of July.
Yeah. Huh. Leida sent me something.
What?
What's the date on this?
Hi, Jess.
I think it was a song. I don't know. Did she take down her DMs? I can't find it. Unless she changed her name to something. It's not even 52 weeks ago, so it's got to be under that. I don't see it. Hold on. Hmm. 39. Oh, should be right there. I don't know. If this was her, somebody deleted everything. Oh, found it.
What was the nature of that email again, E?
I'm pulling it up. She sent me a video parts. Part 1. And some screenshots. Hold on. July 11th. Same day. Yep. Yes, from the Bison account. I'm not into the 90-day scene anymore. Hope this is okay for me to share, but I don't know if this is Amber writing that. Leida and I stopped communicating years ago, so I have nothing to do with her or Eric anymore. If it is something that they need to be advised of, I believe Brooke or even Maria may have her in their chats and can relay the information to you. I hope this helps. Sorry, I can't be more assistance. It's just not my type of thing anymore.
So can you see, was it a screenshot that Amber sent at all, or was it just the recordings? Yes. I'm just wondering what time she received them, or what time did you get that?
July 6th. Then she sent it to me, or she replied July 8th. Yeah, okay, so the original person, Bisan, sorry guys, Mahartari, whatever, just got some crazy info on Leida and Eric. I'm not sure what to do with the info. It's some serious allegations, July 6th.
What time of day was that? Do you know? Is there a time on that?
No, it just says the date. Let me look for the next one.
Because that's when Geneva had posted that she made the calls on Sunday, and she phoned the police department at 1:34 p.m. and again at 11:28 p.m. But she was obviously very busy also. So if she's saying she got the recording that day, and Maria's saying, I only gave it to one person, who gave it to one person? No, because she made a fake account and sent it around to other people. So loads of people had that recording on the Sunday, you know?
Yeah, Maria replied July 9th. So Amber, on July 8th, sent it to Maria saying, I'm not sure who this guy or woman is, Maria, but I thought I would send this your way. Little does she know what came from her. To relay to Leida that someone is snooping around on her or trying to get a story struck up. I noticed her being in your chat from time to time. Feel free to send to her if you know her email or feel it's necessary. I'm not covering anything 90 Day anymore. And Maria just says, wow, they're truly fishing for information. Thank you. And
yeah, it was the information you gave them, Maria. It was the information you gave Geneva, for fuck's sake. they're really fishing for information.
Yeah,
Wow.
it even says, notice Maria didn't mention it at all. Yeah, that was okay. And then yeah, she sent me actual recordings, and that's what I did with them. It's unlisted, so feel free to use them, and that's why I credit her.
So that's what I'm saying. So Maria had said to you when she spoke to you after that, she had only just sent it to Kiki after the fact. So Maria knew on that Monday that that had been getting out.
Yep. And then acted like she didn't know what Amber was talking
Yes,
about.
exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So again, there's more bullshit.
But so was it Jenny sending it to Amber as well?
Yes. So Jenny sent it to Amber under an account trying to say it was George, using what they tried to say was George's name. Yep. And Geneva admitted that she was that account.
Wow.
So as I said, so Maria knew by the Tuesday that other people had that. So is that why she finally said, "Oh well, I'm going to admit that I only gave it to Kiki and Kibitz, but she'd also given it to Jenny, Kiki, and shared it with her whole group chat."
See, and that's what I don't think Kiki probably realized at the time, because Maria was telling everybody. She tells me she only shared it with one person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's more. It's more convoluted than you actually realize.
But then by her saying that she only worked with Kiki on it, it implies that Kiki sent it around, which we all know she didn't. So it was kind of I wonder if that's why she went to Kiki in the first place, to have her like kind of take the fall for it all getting out, while she's sending it to Ginny even before that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right. You want to still hear some of this?
Yeah, I'm going to drop. I just come up to add my little, because it doesn't make sense to me. Don't say in one breath you didn't believe it, but then, oh, it was all about the baby. Oh, I was doing this for the baby. And it's the same with the whole Cody's mum thing. Don't pretend that you were worried about him getting arrested. You weren't. It was completely self-serving. And this is the same situation. It was completely self-serving. And that was all I wanted to say. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks. Bye, Brooke.
I think she's muted.
Bye. I'm going to drop too because I got to tell Jason what to get at the store. I'll be in the chat.
Okay.
Thank you for having me up.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. All right. I'm going to play a little bit more. I dropped the link again. I'm going to play. I might forward some of it. So when Kiki comes up, it's not very long then. Let me just play it. We'll go a little bit longer. Finish what I'm saying, and then I see the screen.
So don't say it that way.
I didn't hear you because I was talking. What?
I turned it down. I didn't do that. I didn't do the live with her.
Well, the next communication, according to the screenshots, you guys were trying to schedule it. There was no agreement for sure. The next thing was my baby's in heaven. Sadly, these are like practically imprinted on my brain. I'm sorry if I'm not clicking on your guys.
There was no date because I wasn't going to do a live because I didn't want to get involved.
You said 10:30.
And did it happen? I made sure it didn't happen, didn't I?
I didn't see that, did we? We didn't see where you said, I'm not comfortable doing this.
Well,
I don't want to get involved. Let me record these recordings without my part and send them out. Maybe use it as leverage for an RO drop. And then when it blows up later, I'm going to make the rounds. Okay. Got it. That's how it looks.
Well, because I didn't want to upset her, but I made sure it didn't happen. I didn't come back to her. I didn't say
why would you say, you know what, that's not going to happen? You're in the hospital. You're not thinking right. You're a victim of domestic violence.
And I wasn't going to do it. And I didn't want to tell her no. I didn't really want to upset her. And I said, maybe tomorrow. And tomorrow didn't happen. I didn't want to get involved in that. My involvement was getting that to the police, and that was it.
And to Kiki.
And to Kiki after Heidi decided to post it, and so did everybody else with no content. Somebody I trusted leaked it out. No, PB, the leak is not me. I didn't call the police.
Of course not. So this one person then is the snitch, not you. And C was a snitch.
No, yeah, I sent emails out to somebody. Have you ever seen me send an email to somebody?
Yes.
And saying, and don't say it was me because it wasn't, because she'll come after me. Don't mention my name. Like if that was C, 4 different fucking emails since 4 o'clock in the morning today.
Why is that the focus? Like
because that's what Siwa does. What, are you friends with Siwa now? That's what Siwa does. I wanted everybody to see what she does.
And not the freaking Sorry for my language. And then not the dead baby and the person that you've been chatting with for the last however long.
Dead baby online. I talked to Leida on the phone. I don't have to talk. It's not YouTube's problem. My problem is Siwa. I don't have to discuss Leida's baby online. It's not, everything is not for online. My problem was Siwa.
So drama's okay, but a deceased tragic death, not okay. Can't stand on that when you shared it with another blogger yourself. Okay, you can't. You can't. You made it. You didn't have to.
That Heidi is, for Heidi, a view is more important than reality.
If it was all again, I'm playing this to prove that Heidi was not the first blogger. She talked to Kiki before all of this. So the fact that she keeps blaming either me or Heidi or anybody that posted it, no, she was just mad that they scooped it from Kiki.
These were involved, not post it.
That's
when she give a.
It's always with deflecting with you. It's always about views and bullshit.
No, it's not views for me. If it was views for me, I would have posted it on my channel immediately. It's not about views.
She would have done it without members only.
She did it for members only so she can get more members. That's what she did it for.
Oh, really? Is that why
and then
for those that don't remember, Siwa saw the screenshots of obvious. It was screenshots of Maria having a conversation with Leida about her deceased child or sick child, and Siwa was warning, thinking Leida was a victim of domestic violence, and that the child. This is my understanding, and that maybe the child was hurt because of domestic violence. Was warning Leida that, hey, you're talking to Maria, and I've seen screenshots of your conversations, basically trying to warn Leida. And then, Leida's in the chat, Maria did a live, and they drug Siwa for filth for trying to warn Leida. And it's one thing, like, she's mad that, Siwa's trying to protect the baby killer while Maria's the one sitting there doing what she's doing. Like, in other words, Siwa almost blew up my entire operation. That's what it sounds like to me. I can't remember if Siwa went live about that, if she was doing lives much, if she defended herself about that. I really don't remember. All right, I'm going to play a few more minutes and then just jump to where What's Her Head comes. I'm sorry, Kiki comes up. Most of them had no idea.
Becky messaged Amber and told Amber to discuss it. And then now here you are.
Yes, because there's a dead baby.
Okay. I already told you what my involvement was. What more do you want? What more do you want?
Okay, what more I want, I guess, it's some accountability that you acknowledge in a screenshot that you think she did it, but you're so worried the next day.
I'm not going to get involved in he or she. I gave it to where I had to give it to the police, to the person to give to the police, and that's it. I'm not a fucking detective. So
I still don't understand why Leida still came to you after knowing that you said you thought she did it. How did you, did you frame it to her that, no, you're just a victim, and I
told her it has to be investigated. And it does. It has to be investigated. We weren't there. I don't know if it was her or him.
But you can't sit there and say we can't butt our nose in. When you get involved in a DZ reality star's life, hold on, let me finish. If you get yourself involved in all their daily drama, toxic fights, and everything else, and make yourself a part of it, and having to record it and send it to the police, who's all involved in it? Who's all involved in the drama? That's you.
It wasn't for YouTube drama. What part aren't you understanding? It wasn't supposed to be involved in YouTube at all. You guys have made it into the YouTube drama.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Okay, she said it enough times, and now I'm going to go to where Kiki comes up and says that she's been working on this story with Maria for like 6 days at that point. See, that's what gets me. That's the narrative that I can't stand. She likes to come across as she's, doing this out of the goodness of her heart and fairness and whatever, but no, it absolutely was supposed to be a story. So let me find it. Let me forward it. We go back and forth. Again, you guys can listen to it. We go back and forth apparently quite a bit. What's more to know? That's your conclusion based off all your conversations. No, that's
not based on all my conversations. You don't know all my conversations, and you never will. And that's what bothers you.
It's probably in a trial.
You won't. Trust me, you won't. Maria has no.
I don't need to be involved in it. The police do.
Defense. Kendra, did you find your phone that you left?
Ugh, jeez, Pete. Deflection. I'm sorry, I put that up. Okay, so here's where Kiki comes up. I just put this up as an overlay to make sure it was her. Just give me 1 second.
No problem. I'm just sort of confused on what's going on, so I said, let me hop in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, she brought your name up. That the reason she gave it to you, this whole story, after Heidi had already gone live with it. And
No,
so,
after Heidi posted it, not gone live. After she posted it on her community tab.
Okay. First off, can I just say that Maria and I have been working on this story actively since Sunday night. Maria came to me as
you can see the look on my face there. She's been telling us it was Wednesday or Thursday after the baby had already was deceased, and that's when the screenshots came out. But she had been working on this story with Kiki.
Leida was messaging her and leaving her voice messages.
Well, okay, go ahead.
And then I personally did not want to say anything until there was public confirmation from either Leida or Eric. So when Eric posted on his Facebook yesterday that the baby passed, I said, okay, I could go forward with the story. I actually did a video on Monday night for my channel where I mentioned, but I said I don't want to say for sure because I don't have confirmation. Okay, so Maria messaged me Sunday night. She started showing me the messages from Leida as they were happening, like, in real time.
Yeah, the ones I sent to the police, the one that were sent to the police department.
You just said you didn't send it to Kiki until Thursday.
I told her she could post it after Heidi did the thing.
Yes.
Did you not tell
I have personally myself, speaking from my content and my channel, I decided not to do anything publicly until there was some type of public confirmation from either Leida or Eric.
I understand that, but I'm sorry to drag you into this. See, I don't think Kiki understood what Maria, was claiming, that, it only was going to go public because Heidi made it public. But no, the plan was always to make it public. That's what I think she just didn't understand coming into it like that. If I try to mute Maria for a second, keeps on muting. I don't know who else is up and down like this. Hold on. So Maria told us that she didn't even contact you until Thursday. And I said, I thought she had been reached out to you as soon as the baby was in the hospital when Leida was trying to schedule an interview.
Go back and listen to the interview that you just gave, that you talked to me. I never said that. I said I've been talking to Mary, and I even told her when the baby died on Sunday. I've been talking to her before. I talked to her as soon as Leida said that they got into another argument.
How many people want to tell me in the chat?
Go back and listen to your live again.
It will happen.
I've been talking to Mary for months.
Okay. That's all I'm going to play for right now. Yeah, and why he would speak with some rando spoof text. Again, for anybody who's coming in late, last night, Maria did an interview on, let me post his link if you want to watch it. It's at the 1 hour mark. Maria came on panel, on phone, and Genevra was in the chat, and the narrative kind of changed. Not kind of, it did. So there's that if you guys want to watch that 1 hour in. But apparently Rabbit was covering this and has been asking other larger bloggers to cover it, and I hope that continues. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover, I think, today. Again, the screenshots that John shows with his conversations with Ginny. Ginny is giving him the information. John's very suspect of the information, feels like he's being set up. And Ginny alludes to the fact that, hey, she's willing to drop the RO tomorrow. And again, Maria has denied that. I don't know if Ginny was off doing her own thing, trying to work out a deal, but those are just the facts as I know them. It did change. Again, she blamed it all on Heidi, that it never was meant to get out. But the point is, that's my point. And, well, it's out. The story was always going to come out. Now, whether her involvement would have come out, I don't know. And again, it makes you wonder if she was friends with Ginny after this, then she had to have known that Ginny gave the info to John, because obviously he covered the exact same screenshots that she had. So the fact that they remain friends, she trusted her still after this. They still exchanged lists, as we know. Was it planned then? I mean, I'd like to hear that. Like, don't, she knows Ginny. Ginny admits now that she gave it to John. So either they planned it together or she found out she did it and just didn't care. If it was never to get out. Exactly. Well, she always told me, like at the beginning, I gave it to somebody I trusted. And it's not Ginny. She told me that over and over. And she did lives after me. How dare I cover it? How dare Heidi cover it? She was just really upset that she gives it to somebody that lets it out to the world and is upset that people are covering it. All of our intentions and whatnot are called into question. But don't dare question her intention last night going live about it to say there's more to come. Here's my channel that's not monetized yet, I assume. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah. Let me see what else. I have Ginny's timeline, but I'm gonna have to look at it and compare it to the actual records. Let me just see if there's any other screenshots that I wanted to. It was in this file that I didn't show. Yeah, just call me. This is Ginny. We need to get this bitch regarding Leida. John, she's willing to go drop the RO tomorrow. It's literally in a screenshot that John showed on his page. Let me see what was after that. There's some more screenshots between Ginny and John that John put up. I'm not going to read all of it, but just the one that circled. Do you want me to still try to get the audio from Maria where Leida says the autopsy will prove the baby died of natural causes? Oh, that didn't happen. And this, oops, back it up. Pause. Sorry, I'm reading these. I'm not going to read it all. You can take it with a grain of salt, but Leida told Maria that she thinks she's going to get charged. This was in October of 2025. So again, Maria's giving another narrative that, nope, she's not worried at all. And John, rightfully so, says, I'll believe it when I see it, because honestly, I'm at that point too. And Jenny says, same, but apparently she's scared. She said they haven't arrested her yet because Eric isn't cooperating. But the police are being relentless, according to Leida. Same day, October 28th or 9th, can't tell. She's trying to get her bond conditions modified. She changed and it's cut off. And then he shows just a little bit more. John says something like, it's weird to me that Leida is still giving Maria info knowing Maria is leaking it. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm done with this. Rightfully so. I understand that. And she says, I think Leida wants an outlet to get shit out there. And she knows Maria will leak it. Hopefully there will be charges soon. That little baby deserves some justice. Agreed. And then here's the whole timeline. Again, it's posted on Ginny's page, talking about when the house was rented out, when this is what's weird. If this is correct, now we know the baby was injured on 7/5, but on 7/2, she, according to Genero, goes to the Indonesian consulate in Chicago to get the baby's passport. And then obviously this 7/4 is when Eric's arrested. Well, actually, technically 7/5, early in the morning. Let's see. 7/6, 7/04. Leida says my baby's in heaven. Mm. 7/7 to 7/9. Leida doing IG stories, acting perfectly fine and laughing. Last seen in her car. Yeah, she was breast pumping. Eric was released from jail on 7/7. And the baby was born 5/31. She rehomed the dog sometime in June. They were definitely doing something at the beginning of June with transferring the LLC. And let's see the rest of this. Eric, oh, come on. Didn't mean to do that. Come on. Sorry, hold on. 7/10, Eric posts statement announcing the baby passed away on 7/9. 7/11, Leida lists a Corvette for sale. 7/12, Leida takes her son to Indonesia to stay with her parents. 7/15, Leida writes letter to judge asking to dismiss the RO against Eric. Leida returns from Indonesia on 7/16. A welfare check on Leida on 7/16. And the police were told that she moved. She was arrested the next day for bail jumping and not updating her address after she moved. She released on bond on 7/17 the same day, and had to turn in her passport. The protection order gets dismissed on 7/18 because of Leida's letter. The protection order granted from DV incident gets waived 7/18. Leida's motion hearing for pending case for DV and animal endangerment from 1/27/25. An initial hearing for current bail jumping charge was 7/21. And then a pre-trial conference for Eric's DV charges from 7/5. That was 8/11, August 11th. August 27th, Leida's hearing for charges from 1/27 and 7/17/25. And then on September 16th, Eric's initial appearance for his DUI in open container. So yeah, all of this you can see yourself on the Adams County website. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I know it was a bit longer than I normally do. I really want to thank Sarah at 90 Days on Blast, Rainbow, Daisy Girl, George, Sarah again, Miss Ann, allegedly, and for thank you for becoming a member for 16 months, allegedly, and Rainbow. I appreciate that. Anybody have any questions before I end this? Absolutely. And I'll try to post if like Rabbit or Kiki, if I know they're going live, or anybody else covering it. I'll try to keep it posted. Like I said, I don't plan on covering the case. I mean, that could change. We'll see. Sometimes I get very interested in the minutia details. Sometimes I don't. Hold on, I'm going to change something. I got to remove. And add something. Damn it. I'm just going to play a song to get out. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, hit the like. That would be appreciated. And yeah, I guess I will see you guys next time. Sorry, I don't really have, I'm just going to play a song. Nothing, oopsie. Nothing major. Yep. I will catch you guys next time. And we'll see you later.
I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead of say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages of vacant. Modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
All right, bye guys.